Hello, everyone. Welcome to my game. I am going to start introductions with, uh, we're going to go, I don't know what my directions are anymore. So we're going to start with Emily and go all the way around the circle to our new player.
Yeah, I'm Emily. I'm at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist. I complain a lot. And I'm playing Dr. Donald Reed, a NASA JPL engineer, um, who thought he was in the clear and this was all tied up in a neat little bow and is now stuck back in this surreal hell town. Um, yeah, we're back again. Lovely times are surely ahead. Nothing bad could possibly happen.
Is it me? Am I next?
Yes, we're going around in that direction that I don't know what it is right now because I don't know my directions.
Okay. Well, I am Ran. I'm Ran Plays Games on Twitter, where I'm fairly quiet at the moment because most of my energy is put towards making a module at the moment. But I play Jonathan Merrow, a lost goth who is doing his best to remain polite and friendly and not get killed. These are his main goals. Also, he made a friend. Now he's friends with Don, and that's nice because he doesn't have a lot of friends. That's him.
My turn, my go?
I assume.
Okay. Well, hello. I'm Vanessa, or V, and I am new here, if you haven't already guessed. I am, yay, woo! I am an artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, traditional stuff, and I play Eve. And Eve is a new arrival. She is she's an officer of the law, which is nice to have around sometimes, you know. But yeah, so she has recently decided to come to the town. She's doing a little bit of research. She's shown up, just gonna, make some friends and poke around. Her plan is to stay for a couple of days, see what the area has to offer. We'll see if that goes according to plan. But for right now, that's sort of what she's doing. Yeah.
Okay, and I am your lovely, wonderful person that's running the game. And because I don't know my words tonight, I'm just going to say that I have no idea. So instead, we're just going to start. And we're going to start with Eve outside of the lovely bed and breakfast, which is an old Victorian building on a street in a really kind of old-fashioned small town USA. The one that was like one main street that's got all buildings from like 1812 on it. Well, they're in front of one of them. And Eve, could please describe yourself for us since you're brand new, kind of.
Of course. So Eve is, she's very lovely. She stands at about 5'9" or so without heels, but she's got some boots on, so she's kind of scraping I would say about 6 feet or so. She is very pale in complexion. She's got lovely freckles. Very, very Irish lass. I will spare you all from the attempt at a fake Irish accent because
Aww.
I'll work on it, Ran, just for you. I'll get it there, and I'll try my best. But for now, you get me not doing an accent. But she's got short, cropped orange hair, somewhere between like chin to shoulder length, and it's wavy. And she's got green eyes. And so she usually dresses pretty comfy for work attire, and she's dressed similarly now. So like a white button-down blouse, and some high-waisted light-wash jeans, and of course her boots. And she's driving in. She's got her little knapsack with her, and she is ready to go.
Okay. So who? I'm sorry. The door to the bed and breakfast opens up, and a kind woman with a name tag that says Richard welcomes you into the inn, Eve.
Okay. Now, Nikki, does this feel familiar?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No comments on that. But so Eve is just going to grab her knapsack out of the front seat of her car. She sees the person standing there, and she gets out of the car and gives a little wave and kind of makes her way to the door of the bed and breakfast.
Hi, welcome to Madison. Come on into our Madison bed and breakfast. We have a suite waiting for you upstairs.
Eve meets with a very nice little smile. She says, "Of course. Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to stay, and the place looks lovely."
Thank you. Breakfast is ready. So would you like me to take your bag up to your room and so you can sit down and eat? I know you've had a long trip.
Eve finds herself automatically replying with, "No, I think I'd like to bring my stuff upstairs." And she kind of feels like maybe that's a little familiar too, but she kind of shakes it off and goes, "No, I think I'd like to bring my stuff upstairs and kind of get situated before breakfast."
Okay, let me lead you to the our elevator. It's small. It's an old elevator, and she'll lead you to. It's just like it's really tiny, old-fashioned elevator with like a gate that you pull and everything.
It's a really good thing that Eve is not afraid of elevators, because I
Yeah.
kind of am a little bit, and I would not step foot on that thing. But Eve doesn't seem to have a problem with that, so she follows on through.
Okay, as we it's a quick trip upstairs, and Eve, there are a few other doors up there, but Richard, she leads you to a door of your own, which is a really nice suite. It's really everything looks really expensive, and like they ordered it from Italy or something. Lots of luxury items are around. It was really, really nice.
Eve is
you have any
very
reactions?
impressed. Yeah, she's super impressed. This little tiny bed and breakfast looks so extravagant, and she's very, very pleased with it. And she turns to Richard and says, "Thank you very much."
Okay, you have a great morning. We will see you downstairs for breakfast. And Richard kind of scurries off.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
Eve's gonna just bring her stuff inside, I guess, and take a little look around too while she's there.
Across the hall, you see another NPC come out of their room, kind of a tall girl with long locks, and they kind of blink at you, and she kind of goes back into a room. And this is where we're going to take the scene to John and Don. Because she's going to run us in there. There's somebody in the hallway. Beyonce is the one who's doing that, or the NPC known as Beyonce.
She's Beyonce now. I know you came up with a real name for them, but they're Beyonce now.
Don is a
okay.
morning person, so he is already up and dressed and probably working on something at that workbench. Any familiar items in the room when you woke up?
It probably would seem very familiar.
John is still asleep on your recliner. Like all curled up as small as he can get, which is not very small because he's a very large man.
But yeah, I remember what you mean now. And yes, those items are on the table.
Don kind of turns and looks at Beyonce, and usually his mind would go to, well, of course there's someone in the hallway. It's a bed and breakfast. But this is Madison. So he kind of looks at them for a moment. It's like, what do you mean someone's in the hallway? Like, who is in the hallway? Like someone you know, or
No, no. Yes, I mean no. I don't. No. And Beyonce looks a little confused for a moment, but then it's like, let's get breakfast. I'm starving.
and Dawn just kind of looks over to John, who, yeah, I'm assuming is still asleep.
Oh yeah. Fast asleep. He's a sleepy, sleepy boy.
Well, we're gonna have to, and John has tried to keep his voice down. He's tried to be quiet. We're gonna have to wake up Sleeping Beauty over there.
Okay, yeah. And Beyonce just like, where is John
I think the
sleeping again?
recliner next to bed.
He's on the
like
recliner,
a really,
yeah.
really cushy, like really comfy recliner.
Okay, well she's jumping onto the recliner, not like onto John, but like side him.
Nah!
It's time to wake up.
What's going... What time is it? Beyonce? What? Aren't you dead? No. What?
That's awesome. Thanks.
Mm.
Yeah, Dawn looks like he was about to get ready to stop her or protest or something, but he couldn't in time.
I could have sworn that you were dead. No, that was a dream. Yes. What? Where? What time is it? Oh, where? Madison. Yes. No, I'm awake. I'm awake. And he'll kind of start rubbing at his eyes and scrubbing a hand over his jaw and waking up.
Wait, did you say dead?
What? It was a dream. It's not. It was a weird dream. I really want some tea. Do you think breakfast is ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Probably whatever you want for breakfast.
Oh.
Cooked
Right.
however you like it. Dawn
Really,
does not
it's
sound
intensely
terribly
disturbing.
Yeah, Dawn does not sound terribly enthused about this.
Yes. Yes. And John will like get up and put on his leg and his shoes. Because one does not sleep in a prosthetic if one wishes to be comfortable.
And remember, you all have all of your bags now. So they weren't there last time.
That's true. John will go get changed into his real normal clothes then.
Yeah, Dawn puts on a light jacket and like hooks a couple of things to his belt. Yeah, that jacket is fortunately long enough to conceal the fact that he is now carrying a pair of ice axes on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he's hooks a couple of things to his belt. Do you mean weapons? Do you mean he just hooks a couple
Those
of
are
obvious
tools.
weapons?
Those are tools.
Tell that to Leon Trotsky.
That's fair.
I told you I was a history major. Yeah, John will get dressed and sleepily follow whatever these two are doing. Basically, he's only just coherent. The hood goes up, the eyes go down. He's done. He's still mostly asleep.
I'm gonna say that the elevator takes long enough that all of you are in a hall at the same time.
So should we do character descriptions for Eve, or?
Wait, sorry. Yeah, since this is our first time back on Twitch in a while, I think we probably should.
All right, Em, do you want to start?
Oh Lord. Yeah, Dawn is much more awake than John. He needed to sleep, but he's also a morning person. He's 6'2". He's a bit of a fitness nut, so kind of a little bit broad shouldered, good shape. He's wearing probably today I'm gonna say a Studio Killers t-shirt. And he tends to wear his shirts fitted. Light jacket, slacks, probably some almost more like hiking shoes, with some pretty good grippy tread on them. I don't know, it's like very, very practical, but looks good at the same time. And he's got glasses, but they're those rectangular rimmed glasses that it's almost like nerd chic. It's like, yeah, they're glasses, but it's like they look really good.
It's what Hollywood thinks a sexy scientist looks like.
Yes. So he actually managed to pull that off. Short sandy blonde hair, kind of swept back. And yes, he looks significantly more awake than John does.
Wouldn't be hard. John is probably actively trying to doze on Don's shoulder, depending on if Don is like telling him he has to stand upright, because he has had some terrible dreams that gave him very disrupted sleep.
No, he's not going to. If anything, if John looks like he's going to fall over or something, Don will try to catch him.
Bless. Yeah, so John, who is significantly taller than Don, is trying to lean on his shoulder. So it's like that kind of when someone who's way too tall is trying to rely on someone who's way too short to hold them up. Because he's about 6'7". So he's definitely had to angle to get his head onto Don's shoulder.
That's okay. John's a strong guy. He can handle.
Well, it's not difficult either because John is very, very skinny. So very, very tall, very, very skinny. Something vaguely spidery about his body makeup. He's wearing an absolutely massive black hoodie that is so old that it's like kind of gray. It used to have text on it, but the text is like destroyed from being washed and worn so many times. The hoodie is big enough that you can just see the edges of his hands coming out of it, like his fingertips, which have nice black nail polish, not chipped right now. And you can see the end of, those like midi rings that some people wear, where it's like in the middle of the finger rather than at the base of the finger, in silver or stainless steel, something like that, with lots of like weird little designs and runes and stuff on them. The hood is big enough you cannot see most of his face. He's pale. He's got a bit of scruff because he definitely didn't bother to shave. You can see a few scars poking through the scruff. He's wearing torn up black skinny jeans, but all of the tears are on one leg and not the other. And then he's wearing like beat up black Converse, like high top Converse, which have like the Sharpie scribbles on them and everything. Like he looks like the sort of man who received the news that My Chemical Romance released a new song yesterday, was like, holy shit, I've been waiting for this. That's John.
John does have one of those stubble beards, but it's clearly like on purpose and very neatly like shaped and groomed. So it's like that kind. He's got the very neat ragged thing going on.
That's amazing because John definitely looks like he did it on purpose, but he did not. As I keep telling you, he was beautiful all along without meaning to. He's a 90s rom-com protagonist. He takes off his glasses and shakes out his hair like, holy shit.
Okay, so before anybody gracefully falls into anybody's arms, the 90s rom-com.
Meet cute.
Okay. But it's not Beyonce, obviously. But the person who calls herself Beyonce rushes into the elevator, opens it up, and kind of ushers everyone inside. They're tall and like a kind of old-fashioned looking dress and dark skin, not as tall as the giants around, not 6'7", like more like 5'8", 5'9", and just kind of is really wanting to get breakfast right now. So please, everybody, get in the elevator.
If John's pillow moves, John will move with it.
This is including Eve. Eve needs to get into.
She is also being ushered by this stranger. Get in the elevator.
The stranger calling herself Beyonce, who is definitely not Beyonce. V, are you there?
I'm there, yes.
Okay.
I feel like maybe Eve is kind of poking around in her room a little bit too long. So like the elevator is full now and just about to get ready to go. And she's like, hold on, wait a second, like trying desperately to get back to the elevator so that she can go down to breakfast as well.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, when you get down for breakfast, everything you want is on that table. It's spread out and you've got like really nice spots to sit. The tea is perfect for John.
Hell yeah.
There's coffee and everything has to-go cups. There's little, you can take it with you if you want.
John fills 3 cups of tea and takes them over to the table because he's planning on drinking like 8 cups of tea.
Yeah,
My
Don gets himself I guess what would be a venti size cup of coffee and takes it back to the table with him.
So I think John probably gets through the first cup of tea before he realizes that there is another person in the room. At the very least.
Including the person he was leaning on the entire way down there.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he had some wild dreams last night. They were really disturbing. A lot happened. People died. So he'll like shotgun 2 cups of tea. Like he's like double handing. And then his eyes will actually open.
There's a certain threshold to tea consumption before the eyes open. You need to meet that line first.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
I think Eve goes to take a look at what's there at the breakfast table, and she gets herself a really nice waffle with some raspberries on the top, and she kind of stares at it for a moment, but then takes that and a little to-go cup full of tea for herself and sits down to have her waffle.
Do you... It's strange, isn't it, that there's another person here, right? Don?
Yeah.
Crystal needs you. Does Crystal need you?
Yeah.
Do you think we should
Doesn't
say
seem
hello?
like she's
or...
from here either. I mean,
Right? Well, she seems very familiar. Does she seem very familiar to you?
yeah, there is a certain feeling of deja vu. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I had a dream that she was in. Oh, that sounds bad. I think I'm going to say hello. I think yes, I'm going to say hello, and John will get up.
So since you're getting up, could you get me like a couple more muffins?
Yes, certainly. I can absolutely. And John will kind of slope over to Eve's table, awkwardly raise a hand to say like a little, like the awkward like chest high wave that you do when you're not willing to commit to a full body gesture.
Okay.
Good morning. It's I'm Oh dear, this is not going well. Hello. I saw that you were sitting here alone, and we wondered if you wanted to join me and my friend and acquaintance over at the other table. And just as we're all guests in this B&B, and it seems to be sort of a social situation, perhaps you would like to. I always find that eating on my own is less pleasant. Obviously, please don't take this as any kind of untoward anything. Oh dear. It's simply an invitation of if you would like to come sit over there, maybe. And then John will stop talking because he's been talking for way too long.
This is only like the second time that I've interacted with John, and I absolutely love it. So halfway through like the long ramble, Eve just kind of like put her elbow on the table and rested her chin on her fist, like she's just listening. And the longer it rambles on, kind of the more she's like,
"Are you like an exhibit in a zoo?"
Yeah. Are you good, or is it okay? Like, but there is the sense that, you know what, last time I remember something like this happening, I think it was, you know, somebody, I feel like maybe this has kind of happened before, where I've received an invite to go sit at another table. That's a little strange. But when let's see, when so about halfway through the ramble, she kind of like sets her chin on her fist, and she's just listening. At this point, now that John's close enough, is she able to see John's face any clearer from where she's sitting?
Oh, you're sitting down, so probably you could see under the hood, yeah. Like,
Okay.
There'll be a bit of shadow, but he's not like full Jawa, you know?
Yeah.
It's not an impenetrable darkness. So yes, you can see there is a very pretty boy under this hood looking incredibly anxious.
Oh, God bless. Yeah, Eve, she's not going to be rude. She's not going to, deny or say anything about the long-winded ramble. She gives John a very polite smile, and she kind of like looks around at the table behind him, and she says, "Sure. Thank you very, very much for the invite. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I'll join if that's okay with the rest of your group."
John will pull out her chair for her.
She kind of laughs quietly to herself, and she takes her waffle with the little raspberries on the top and her cup of tea, and she goes on over and has a seat with them.
And again, John will pull out the chair for her. He is a polite young man. He was raised right. And he will also then quickly dart by the buffet and grab Beyonce some muffins and himself some fruit salad.
Perfect, because she was starving.
How is she starving? She's already eaten 4 tiny muffins.
Yeah, but she's starving. She hasn't had enough to eat.
How many muffins can one person fit in their body?
You really don't want to know.
No, apparently not. So John will sit down, and then he'll go, "Oh, it's so I feel like but I didn't. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's John. This is my friend Don, and this is Beyonce." And he will gesture to each of his companions in turn. How do you do?
Yes, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. My name is Eve. You can call me Eve. Beyonce, John, Dr. Reed. Nice to meet you all.
Just call me the Queen.
Very nice to meet you, the Queen. And Eve just has like a really stupid smile on her face. She thinks that's hilarious.
Dawn kind of pauses. He was eating what looks like a very nice, like loaded southwestern omelet, and he kind of pauses, and looks at Eve a little bit, and then says, "Hi," and looks at her for a couple seconds longer before going back to eating his food. Because he's pretty sure that John just introduced him as Don.
Which would also kind of ring weird to Don, because John is definitely a full name person whenever it's first introduction. So it seems more like he was like, you remember this person, than like, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's like, it probably seems a little off. Yeah,
This all
eat
seems
some melon. Yum, yum, yum.
this all seems a little kind of familiar to all of you. And then Beyonce, as she likes to be called, stands up and starts to wander off towards the door.
Beyonce? Miss Carter? Mixter Carter? I don't really know what the situation is there. Oh dear. And John will scramble up, drain the last of his tea, and follow.
Yeah, Don was already halfway through his coffee, so he finishes that and politely excuses himself, and gives Eve another look, trying not to look like he is looking at her too suspiciously, before going after Beyonce.
This all seems really familiar.
It does, and he doesn't like it at all.
Eve watches everybody depart one by one, and she's a little concerned because Beyonce has not answered their calls, and everybody just kind of disappeared after asking her to come sit with them, so she's a little confused. So she watches Dawn leave, and she looks down at her waffle, and she very, very quickly cuts a few pieces and shoves them in her mouth because it's a really fucking good waffle.
Hey, there's to-go containers like right there.
But that means she'd have to carry it. So
Okay.
I think she'd probably just shove a few pieces in her mouth and be like, you know what? We'll come back to this later. Good enough. She gets up and starts to go, but then stops and turns and looks at the table. And she reaches into her back pocket and takes out some money and places it on the table. But then she follows after everybody else at a distance. She doesn't, call out to them or anything like that. She just goes after them to make sure everything's okay.
Okay, so when you go outside, you will see the street has been empty for a while, but it's not empty now. There's tons of people outside. A ton of people.
More than you would expect to see in Madison?
Well, I mean, like the normal amount, but they're all outside, and it's a really nice day. So, there's kids running around. There's people setting up stuff in the town square. People coming in and out of buildings.
Okay.
Is there still that stage in the town square and
Yes.
everything with the
Yes.
banner and everything? Oh, goody.
John would like to try and get in front of Beyonce and figure out where she's going.
He is
Has
going
a feeling.
towards. She's going towards Baptiste's.
Baptiste's house. Yep. Okay. He's going to pull out his bullet journal and he's going to do a spell he already knows, which is one to cut her off from outside influences.
So the
with
bullet
that in mind,
journal
is the
is-
DC easier?
Yes, and just so you know, the bullet journal has a bunch of stuff that you would not remember adding in it.
Oh, I do like the little pop out. Okay. I think I need to go to the library. But first, let's do some magic. That is a 22.
Okay, yeah, that's Beyonce does stop and looks really confused for a minute. And then looks back towards in front of where and back towards the group.
I brought you another muffin. I'm not sure if, the possession is linked to hypoglycemia, but you always seem a little fuzzy afterwards. And he will press like a chocolate chip muffin into her hands.
Yeah, she's just gonna shove the muffin into her mouth. So what happened?
Is this one of those you're not you what you're not yourself when you're hungry? Have a Snickers kind of things, but with ghosts and stuff, or what?
No, there were ghosts. They were leading me away, but what's happening? What's going on?
I think we should try and figure that out, actually. There's more people than I've seen at any time here. Certainly. Excuse me, sir. John will just kind of reach for a nearby person and sort of duck into his field of view.
Yeah, what's are you okay? Do you need something?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just new in town. I was wondering, is something happening? Is there some event happening?
Yeah, there's a town festival.
Town festival. Oh, Alex, maybe I got the date mixed up. Oh, what's the date today? What date is the festival on?
It's a fall festival.
Fall festival.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. What sort of things happen at the festival?
Well, we're gonna have a music performance on the stage. We're having food and just lots of people getting out, having fun.
Great. No human sacrifice element?
No, why would you say that?
Oh, it's very traditional in effigies, etc. Guy Fawkes? No, you don't have that here. Anyway, thank you for the... Thank you. And John will
You have a nice
retreat.
day.
You as well, sir. Have an excellent day. Enjoy the festival.
He tips his hat and
He's wearing a
goes.
hat. Exciting.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, he is now.
I'm sorry, there was a little bit of cutoff for me. Did they say how many days until the festival?
No, they did not.
Okay, Dawn does kind of gesture for them to wait a second. Excuse me, but how many days until the festival starts?
Oh, 3.
3 days.
Are you going to be here for it?
Probably.
It'll be nice to see y'all there. If you need anything, anybody here will help you out.
Right.
You have a really nice day.
You as well, sir. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
And the helpful NPC heads off.
I have a very strange feeling about today. I had a very vivid dream about going to Baptiste's house, and I'm not keen on repeating it, but Beyonce was on their way there, which makes me think that there must be something of interest.
Wait, you had that dream too?
Right.
Yeah. Me as well. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen where that the secret agent lady went? And John will start looking around. Not just kind of turning his head back and forth like she would just appear.
John thinks to just look behind them.
So Eve, as you're following them, somebody stands in front of you. It's a kid with kind of red hair. She's about 5 or 6, and she just stares at you.
Okay. So when Eve is stopped by this child, she smiles and she crouches down. and kind of, the way you do with children to get on their level. And she says, "Hi, how are you today?"
Hi, I'm doing quite well. How are you doing, miss?
Well, I am fine, thank you. Where's your parents? Or are you lost? Do you need some help?
Oh, my dad's inside of a toy and my mom is somewhere, but I got different parents.
Jesus Christ.
I lost them.
No.
Right. Okay. So your different parents, where are they?
I lost them because I wanted to play hide and seek, but then I saw you and wanted to talk to you.
Okay. Eve kind of stands back up. She holds out her hand. She's like, "Okay, well, do you need some help getting anywhere, or did you
Can I
did
go
you
with
want me
you?
to?" Well, I can certainly help you find your other parents
Where are you
if you've
going?
lost them.
Where are you going? Can I go with you?
Well, that's actually a good question. I'm not quite sure where I'm going yet. I'm new in town, so do you know
Yeah,
any
you-
fun places?
Yeah, I do. I can show you.
I hate that. I hate it.
You're going to die.
Eve is a little
Nikki.
concerned.
Do not take her away. We only just got her.
Don't do this to John. Eve gives a little bit of a laugh, and she's like, "Well, maybe next time we should find your parents first and make sure that you're safe and back to where you need to be. And then
I'm
who knows?
always
Maybe."
safe.
What was it?
I'm always safe.
You're always safe.
Yes.
Well, that's very good. I'm glad that you feel safe. But
We should be friends.
yeah, absolutely. We can definitely be friends, but I think maybe we should get you back to your parents because you never know. I don't want you to wander around in a big crowd like this because you could get lost or, I just don't want you to get hurt. Maybe we should find your parents.
Oh, I won't get hurt. If you have a Polly Pocket, I can show you where my dad is. Sorry.
Eve is concerned.
She's very sweet. She seems like a very sweet child.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. She seems haunted. No, she does. She seems possessed. Like she's like half demon or something is what she seems like.
No, she's being very polite. She's not like her head's not spinning around her or anything.
You know what? That's also a benchmark that I look for in small children that approach me. The first thing I always try to discern is if their heads are spinning around. So that's good to know. Thank you very much for the clarification.
John and Don if you look over, you might see this happening.
Did the little girl take her hand when Eve
Yes.
held out her hand? Okay.
Yes.
They were
John
looking
will
for her, so
slap Don on the shoulder like 18 times. It's the what was her name? The Hannah, Sarah, Shelley, Sheila's girl.
and Don like immediately whips his head over to look.
Yeah, you do see the demon child with Eve.
And
What do you mean,
Don-
demon child? The perfectly polite little girl.
Yes,
Don's
What was
eyes
her name?
Sophie.
Don's eyes widen just a little bit, like, oh god, she has no idea.
We should intervene, right? We should intervene.
Whoa,
Have you seen Sheila lately? I have a very sinking suspicion that she's not around to be seen.
I feel like I maybe did, but I don't know for sure. And it wasn't good, but I don't know. Yeah, we should probably go over there.
Well, over there, Beyonce like points to where they are, very not
Yes.
subtly at all. Beyonce just walks over there, so you had better follow.
Oh yeah, Don is
Who
right.
is this person that we've taken up with? John will say and follow.
It's Beyonce.
She was so paranoid before, and now she's very confident. Hello again. Eve
Hell,
and Sophie?
Hello, how are you today?
Quite well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing very, very well. Do you know that there's ghosts around your friend?
Yes, I did. Well, it's a pleasure
They're
to see you. The
telling
last
her
time I saw you,
things.
you were
So you
so
should be
small.
careful.
Right. Well, she is
I
currently
know I've
wearing
grown a
a
lot.
ghost-proof bracelet, but thank you for the advice. I do
They're still
appreciate it.
talking. You should really watch out for them because you shouldn't trust dead ghosts.
No, you shouldn't trust dead ghosts. You're completely correct, and that's a very wise thing, which makes me think that you didn't hear it from your mother. Who told you that?
What a demon?
Okay. We
I think
also
at this point Eve's
don't
like
trust demons.
very concerned. She's like looking between this child and John, being like internally, externally she looks okay because she's not gonna say anything outrageous. She's just smiling and nodding, and everything is fine. Internally, she's like, "What the hell have I walked into? What's
I
happening?"
think it'd be very easy from the outside to assume that John is like part of some game of pretend that this child is involved in.
And the child is very, very cheerful.
Meanwhile, Dawn has young children, so he's actually not demon children. They can get up to some hellish mischief sometimes, but not demon children. So yeah, he actually has some idea how to approach this. But
John does not.
Has very, very pleasant smile on his face, and is oh, Sophie, it's very nice to see you. How was the beach?
Oh, it was very, very nice. My mom got sunburned like 3 times because she didn't put any sunscreen on.
That does happen.
And
that is
then I got bored. Yeah.
Then you
She
got
doesn't like
bored?
sunscreen, but she kept going out into the sun. Yeah, I got bored. And then she got a new demon boyfriend, so we came back here.
At hearing that Sheila got a new demon boyfriend, Don gets this expression on his face. He doesn't have to say the words, but you can practically hear them from his expression. Are you fucking serious?
But see, mom's got a new demon boyfriend, so I stay with somebody else now. I've got different parents.
He doesn't happen to remind you of your dad, does he?
No, he's some old blonde guy. He looks like he's from a TV show.
I mean, like the way he acts and stuff,
No.
kind of unpleasant and.
No, he's just weird.
Who are you staying with then right now, Sophie?
And I have Nina and her girlfriend.
Nina and her girlfriend. Well, that's probably also not particularly responsible for child raising, but better, certainly. And do you know where Nina and Janie are?
I kind of lost them because I got bored.
Okay. Well, I think that perhaps Don and I will help you find them. I think that's
Can I go with you?
Idea. Yes, you can go, with us to find your parents.
Where are you
Yes,
going? No, I want to go where you're going. I'm bored. Where are you going?
We're going to find Nina and Janie.
No. I want to go somewhere else. They're boring. They try to make me do chores.
Okay. Well, we could go to the library? The library's nice. John looks panicked in that way of like someone who was a really like weird kid and doesn't know what normal kids like. Like he's like, I would love to go to a library at the age of 7.
I don't want to go to the library. I don't want to pick up my toys, and I don't want to eat all of my vegetables.
Right. John will look at Don expectantly.
Let's do something fun.
The way that Sophie says fun concerns Don just a little bit.
Honestly,
well,
I'm expecting
I'm
shapes
not
that
cleaning up my room.
the TikTok series about Lysithea is about to start happening. The possessed child. We could go.
This
to
is
the
my friend
park?
Eve, my new friend. Okay,
We could
let's go to the park.
Go to the park. That's the thing
Let's play
children
hide and
have,
seek.
right?
actually just about just to ask if there was a park that would be lovely. And Dawn kind of looks to Eve and then back to John again.
Eve, can I give you a makeover?
That sounds very lovely, but why don't we try the park first, and then we can decide on some more fun things to do from there.
Well, Nina always lets me give her makeovers.
I thought Nina was no fun.
Well, she's not when she's making me do chores.
Hmm.
It's so mean of her.
Well, if you don't do the chores, then the things that need doing don't get done, and then you can't do the fun things.
Well, she can do them. She's older.
Well, that doesn't seem fair.
No, but it's not fair to make me do them
Why
either.
not? Didn't you make the mess?
Yeah, but I'm a kid. I'm supposed to make messes.
I don't think that's how that works.
It is. I'm supposed to make messes. I'm supposed to just be protected. You have to watch out for me. You have to think about, what about me? Think about the children.
Oh dear.
And here I thought that you
You
never
have to
really
protect the
interacted with your
children.
father.
You see, this is why Mary and I
I set his foot on fire.
This is why Mary and I converted.
She says it very casually. Like,
Oh God. Yes, that you did. Yeah, this is
don't
why.
you have kids?
What?
Dawn, don't you have children?
Could I roll a gut feeling to
Yes.
find out if they already know? Are you kidding me? 11.
This creepy kid seems to know too much.
I mean, yes, but this is why Mary and I converted an old garden shed. It is their crafting place. So if that is the designated place, so they have a place to craft and make a mess.
Can I go play with them?
Let's go to the park. I think we should go to the park.
I think Mary would be a little bit startled and worried as well if someone she didn't know just suddenly turned up without
But I'm a child.
And they're probably in
without
school,
the
right?
parents.
Dom?
Yes, they would be at school, and
which means if you
yes.
went to see them, you would have to go to school as well.
That's
Can I go to
true.
school with them and play with them and be friends?
Maybe later, but I think we should go to the park first.
Is your wife nice?
Do you not want to spend time with us? And John will try and look very sad.
Yes, but you don't have a wife or kids.
No, thankfully.
So you'll have to be my parent.
John genuinely looks terrified at the concept.
Yeah, Dawn now looks visibly a little bit uncomfortable because he is uncertain if Sophie could actually make that happen.
Maybe we could start by being friends.
Yeah, friends would be good. Park?
I thought we were already friends.
No,
Yeah,
we
well,
are,
of course.
but I mean, you don't make your other friends into your parents.
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's well. You know, you're not just allowed to have unlimited parents, right? You have to leave some
No.
for everyone else.
Why?
Sharing is important.
Oh, and letting people make decisions for themselves.
But
Is-
people can't make decisions. They're all terrible.
Oh,
John looks
Oh.
genuinely hurt by that.
dear.
Humans just mess everything up.
I don't think I've done that bad of a job. Also, aren't you 6?
Yes. And she just
I'm
looks
afraid-
at you, John, and laughs.
You aren't qualified to make that decision, Sophie. Let's play on the swings.
Okay. And Sophie kind of skips off.
Don has
It's-
just gone silent. Like he looks. It's subtle, but he looks genuinely disturbed.
I'm going to go push the demon child on the swings for a bit. Maybe the two of you can try and figure out something, and John will go off to push Sophie on the swings. He's much more comfortable being lumped in as also a child than he is as a parent. So he's like, no, I'm going to go play on the swings with the child.
The demon child.
Yeah.
Don would like to not be to not have his family stolen and be stolen himself, because apparently that's a thing that might possibly happen.
As he leaves, John will say, maybe if you can find your phone, I can't find my phone, but if you can find your phone, perhaps you could try and reach out to Janie or Nina. I don't think you'll be able to get a hold of Nina, considering.
I don't know. I haven't tried.
But I'm going to go distract Sophie.
Please do. We should probably not wander too far away though, just in case. And he kind of glances to Eve, like as though she's in on this.
Eve.
As though she's in on this and has not walked in on what the actual fuck.
It's fine. She's chill. She can roll with it.
Sorry, I am here. Stepped away for a second. Yes. Okay. So, sorry. Can you repeat that? Looks at Eve as if she's in on what? Sorry.
Yeah, Dawn kind of looks at Eve as though she's been in on this the whole time, rather than that she has just walked in on what the actual
Eve just kind of like nods, but you know that nod where it's kind of like a yes and a no, so you end up just kind of going in a small circle, like absolutely. She just kind of does that.
So I'm sorry about this. So two guys come up to you all and flash a badge real quick and say that they're looking for demonic children.
That's so specific.
Yeah, it is.
John's over on the swings. He's not involved in
Okay.
this.
But yeah, they just like flash a paper real quick. Like I can't find anything to do it with. Like
Dawn
and one of
kind
them is kind of blonde, short hair, and the other one has dark, long, floppy hair.
When you said that, my immediate thought is, goddamn, it's doppelgangers again.
No, it's looks like very much like two characters from a TV show.
Dawn kind of looks at them a little incredulously and is like, is this part of the festival? Is this like a game type thing?
You cosplay?
No, this is a very official investigation by the FBI.
Yes.
Eve,
Are
you would
they
know
are
these
they
not
wearing
FBI.
like the blue? Are they wearing like the blue jackets with FBI and giant yellow letters on the back?
Yes, but the jackets don't fit.
Of course they don't.
Eve
looks like
immediately holds out her hand and asks to see their very real, very authentic credentials.
Dawn also does at the exact same time.
they do the same thing again. They kind of
Eve just shakes her head and just like makes a handed over motion with her fingers, just like hold her hand out.
so one of them like puts his finger to his ear, like, yes, I hear you. Oh, we'll be right there. Like there, and tries to get the other one to walk away. He's obviously pretending that he's got a call.
You know what? I think my mom's calling. I gotta go.
Are they even actually wearing earpieces?
No.
Eve doesn't say anything. She just watches them.
Yeah, I'm sure you know what TV show they're from.
Mm-hmm.
To the Supernatural.
Did Sam and Dean Winchester just show up in our game
Yes.
and be really bad at their jobs?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Excellent.
Dawn was shit talking them earlier.
Like I said, that's why I apologize.
Did they just leave? Are we alone now?
No. They're off talking amongst themselves.
Eve, in a very, very serious tone, she's still looking at them, and she kind of just leans closer to Dawn, just kind of angles her body over. She goes, I don't think they're FBI agents. It's just very, like, deadpan.
And Dawn very sarcastically, oh, damn, they had me there for a second.
Eve just nods and she's like, yeah, you know what? They almost had me too, but there's just something about the missing earpiece. I felt like there was something maybe a little off.
And
Who
the
was
show
he
does
talking to?
exist. The show does exist in the universe, so.
And
So are we just like, is that Jensen Ackles?
yeah, basically.
Basically.
I don't know if Eve has too much time to watch television, actually.
Maybe
She's
not.
very married to her job. I don't know if she knows.
Let's see. No earpiece jackets that look like they're 3 sizes too big, and yeah, non-existent paperwork. I think that might have been like a Ruby Tuesdays receipt or something.
Yeah, no, Eve's just she's very, very like deadpan serious about the whole exchange. She's just like, yeah, no, I think you're right. Like
Hold on, I want to try something. And Don pulls out his phone and really quickly like starts going through some music. And he's like he pulls up Kansas's Dust in the Wind.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, let's see if one of them cries.
Yes.
What?
And also you see the black car.
Every time something depressing happens on Supernatural, they play Dust in the Wind. So it like Don watches just to see if there's any reaction to him playing it on his phone.
Yeah, the floppy haired one gets kind of teary.
Don immediately hits stop and closes the app and looks at Eve and he's like, this is, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? There's 2 CW characters just walked into this town.
It's a shame John's busy.
Eve just nods like she has no comment on this. Her face just exasperated sigh leaves her. She just
Somebody roll a sight roll, not Eve.
I'll do it. I'm over on the swings.
Okay, because
I got
Eve
time
doesn't
to
have
look
any
around.
reference for this because she's so busy.
I was over on the bench.
I was over on the swings. 22.
There's a lot of TV characters in this town.
Oh god.
Are they all trashy and to do with demons? Like, is there
Some
like
of-
characters from Lucifer and characters from Supernatural? And...
Lucifer, Supernatural, there's also a couple Titanic characters.
Lucifer, if we could track down Dr. Linda, she'd probably be helpful.
Oh my
at least.
god, yes.
But no, yeah, you see a bunch of TV and like TV movie characters.
There's a black 67 Chevy Impala somewhere.
Yes,
Just hanging
yeah,
out.
Impala is there.
Okay. I would like to make, I think, a gut feeling. Are these
Yes.
all shows that Sheila has talked about before? Because she's
No.
definitely talked about Supernatural all the time.
She's talked about Supernatural, but she has not ever talked
Are
about
they
like
shows that Dee would have been introduced to?
yes,
Are
they're
they
all
shows that Dee would have watched with Ben and or Dawn?
yes, all of them.
God damn it. So would I even have to roll, or would Dawn probably
No.
be able to connect the dots here?
He'll be able to connect the dots. He knows,
Oh my god.
especially with the Titanic person walking by.
Oh my god. Dawn especially, his eyes follow that one. And he kind of clears his throat and glances to Eve and says, okay, well, don't be surprised if we run into Gomez and Morticia Adams at some point. It's hard to explain, but like we wound up making friends with a person who used to be the town, and apparently now they are the town again, and introduced them to a bunch of shows. They came over, we watched some things, and these seem to be all the things. They really love Titanic, so if you start hearing Celine Dion, that's why.
So Nikki, is there any point of reference for Eve with regards to this person was the town?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure there would have been some reports about that.
Okay. Eve is doing remarkably well at not running away screaming, trying to rip her hair out.
No, she really is. I'm very impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, so she looks like she's doing about as well as you'd expect. But she tries to keep the comments to a minimum, I find. I think just in general, like every now and then something like a comment will be made or something will happen where there's like that little spark of recognition that crosses her face momentarily. But she doesn't specifically make any outward comments on it yet, as of right now.
Dawn kind of leans in and whispers, we should probably go check on we should probably go check on John and our tag along.
And I'm just going to throw one more thing at you all. I'm sorry
Oh,
to
God.
do this.
Oh god.
What else? Oh no!
Where's Beyonce?
Oh, come on.
Oh god damn it.
I gave you one person to look after. I was like, I'll take the demon child, you take the possessed lady, and what do? You lose her.
Well,
I'm
in
just
our
asking where she
defense,
is.
Sam and Dean walked up. What do you want?
I'm just asking
Don't get
where she
distracted
is.
just because a pretty boy is there is what I want.
I mean, she could be next to you all for all you know. I'm just asking where she is.
Where
she's
is
not next to you.
Beyonce?
Though.
No, she's not.
What a surprise.
Is she within vicinity? Can we see her?
Dawn got distracted by the two demon hunting himbos that walked up. Okay.
yeah, they're still talking and they're still working out their plot line in the distance.
Oh my god.
They've started having like a really sincere conversation about something completely unrelated. Like they're just gonna forget
Probably.
about all of
Like
this.
Bobby's in hell again and they have to get him out
Yeah, there's
for
just
like the
some
13th
bullshit.
time.
Dude. So You always
So-
do this, Sam.
Where's Beyonce?
Where's Beyonce?
I'm just going to be nice and say she's at the other end of the park talking to somebody.
Thank
John was
God.
fully prepared to sprint across town to Baptiste's house and football tackle her away from the summoning circle.
Are Sam and Dean close enough to us that they might notice us walking away?
Yes.
Dawn kind of points to the Impala and says, "Hey, somebody's trying to steal your hubcaps."
That gets their attention. And just because Dawn said that, there is somebody trying to steal the hubcaps. Like from
And
another
Dawn
show.
kind of not too hard, but kind of tugs on Eve's wrist and like books it towards the bar.
Eve
Towards
needs
Beyonce.
absolutely no other prompting than that. Like she feels that little tug and she's like, "Yeah, we're let's go. We gotta go."
Like towards
We out.
Beyonce.
So are they going to John or Beyonce?
Towards Beyonce. And then John.
Okay, so Beyonce is talking to someone in a wheelchair, and it is Baptiste.
Dawn goes like borderline rigid when he realizes that it is Baptiste.
And you would recognize this person, Eve. Just like they seem really familiar, like you've met them before.
Mm-hmm. Eve is trying to put her finger on it exactly, where she's seen this person.
Yeah. in that weird dream, in a room in the house, like close to the time before you woke up, or it changed, or whatever happened, close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
The person told you all to get Beyonce out of that town.
Eve notices that Dawn's kind of like, "Whoop," and she leans over and she says, "Do you know that person?"
And he looks shook, like the hairs on the back of his neck are standing on end, and he's still kind of frozen for a second. It takes him a second to kind of blink and look at Eve and back to Baptiste and back at Eve, and you could say that, yeah.
She just sort of nods and says, "Okay. Should we go collect your friend?"
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Although while he was booking it earlier, he is now seems infinitely more tense and cautious on the approach.
Eve is quickly learning that it seems like everyone she's come into contact with so far needs an adult, like an adultier adult.
Adult here,
It's
adult.
true. Thank
It's
God you're
true.
here.
Thank God.
Just like without fail, everybody seems to need an adultier adult. And she's not quite sure what to do with that information yet. But you know what? She's very used to the feeling of being the adultier adult. And she has a big girl job and has to deal with a lot of paperwork all the time. So she's like, you know what? It's fine. We probably have this, you know? So she walks confidently over to Beyonce to see how she's doing.
She is not saying anything and just staring at Baptiste.
Well, that's not awkward.
No.
So they're not having any sort of conversation. Is Baptiste saying anything, or are they just
Baptiste
both silent?
was, but then got silent when you all approached.
Okay. When Eve gets close enough, she gives Baptiste a smile, and she's very friendly and like, "Hi, how are you?" And she tries to make a little joke, and she's like, haha, like, I hope our friend's not bothering you too much, like just very jokingly, like trying to get off on the right foot here, not on the wrong foot, jeez. But yeah, just like very happy demeanor. She's trying to see if Beyonce's okay while she's kind of got this friendly kind of chipper demeanor about her.
She's doing the girl at a bar check, where you like see some guy hitting on a girl and you come over and you're like, you good? Like, hey, it's so good to see you.
Yeah.
You should probably get Beyonce out of there. I'm just going to tell you that now. It looks like maybe you should move her.
Eve is going to like loop her arm through Beyonce's and give her like a little pat on the arm with her other hand. And say like, hey, like the others are waiting for us. We should probably get going.
And Dawn just kind of nods and gives like a little tense smile and goes with it. And
Bye, Dawn.
He just tenses right up at that and wonders if that was even real.
Yeah. She's still watching you all leave.
Oh, he hates it. He hates it so much.
Does she look like young and hot the way she did before, or does she look like
No,
older? Old and fucked up. Okay.
Yeah. Like something's drained a lot of energy from her.
Good. It's fine. John's off playing pirates. He's doing very badly. He's doing really badly, which means the child is having a great time.
Oh yeah, Sophie's having a great time. And taking all of John's attention.
One of Dawn's daughter's favorite games is Wasteland Pirate Raiders. And they swashbuckle in the backyard.
John doesn't have the body for swashbuckling. Like, he does not buckle well or swash, but he's doing his best.
So John, a really weird thing happens after they start a walk away from Baptiste. Sophie stops playing and says, John, I've had a great time playing games with you. Now I'm done. I'm going to go home. I hope you have a great day.
You as well. Where is home for you at the moment?
I am going to I guess I'll find Nina and her girlfriend. I don't know. Her girlfriend got lost. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't do it this time.
Okay, this time. Well, that's good. Perhaps I could come with you to find Nina and her girlfriend, because I am very tired from playing, and I think that we should have peanut butter sandwiches.
That'd be lovely, but your friends need you right now.
My friends need me right now.
Yes.
I see. Well.
And you wanted to go to the library because you're a nerd.
Oh, it hurts more when a child says it.
Burn. Damn.
This is nerd when an actual rocket scientist is and roboticist is walking towards them.
I know, but John is less cool, and he knows it.
You have a lovely time with your books. I'm just going to go now.
Right. Well, I would offer to trade phone numbers with you, but I don't know where my phone is.
It's in that third pocket. Like this weird kid knows exactly where John's phone is.
John looks, this is the most troubling thing that she has said today, is the expression on John's face. He was like, all right, the whole like, I'll steal your family and stuff was weird, but this is creepy. Yeah, he wants to get this child's phone number just in case.
Okay, you can have my phone number, but Nina says that I'm not supposed to take calls from strange adults, but you're not really strange. I've known you my whole life.
We're friends. I was at your birth. Your mother almost named you after me in a very creepy situation. So I think that's fine. Honestly, I'm like an uncle to you, really.
Yeah, you are. You're my uncle. And she's going to give you a big hug.
John will awkwardly pat her on the head because he doesn't know what to do with this. Well,
She'll give you the phone number, and then she says, "It's okay. What happened to my mom? We all understand." And then she tries to skip off.
That is the noise John makes. And he just kind of stops. Right, I'm going to... John will sit down, probably on the closest thing, which I'm going to say is one of those, you know, the like spring-mounted animal things that kids play on, the like bopping thing? He sits on one of those, pulls out his bullet journal, and begins to read the bits that he didn't know about. And I'm going to say that it's just like bopping slightly, just because he can't hold quite still enough.
Yeah.
So he's just like gently bopping on like this caterpillar toy while he reads his bullet journal.
So you all, the other two of you see the kid skip off happily, or you see as she's skipping along.
I don't suppose there's any chance to catch up to her. She's just gonna skip off and vanish.
You can.
I'm thinking about something.
This is how you know John doesn't interact with children. It's the 6-year-old was like, "I'll go home now." And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, Dawn didn't hear that whole conversation and just sees Sophie kind of skipping off on their own. So he does kind of break off for a second and, "Hey, you headed off?"
Yeah, I'm gonna go home now so that John can do spell stuff with you all, because I know that's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, great. Hey, could I let you in on a little thing? Because I know you're smart and you'll get it.
Yes.
You said, you know, humans do stupid things, right?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, we absolutely do. But here's the thing. The stupid things the things that people do and think and say, including the stupid things, are part of what make them who they are. And if you take away the choices that they make, you change who they are, and they're not that person anymore. So if you liked that person, you just made them not that person.
Well, I don't want you all to destroy the world. I like the world.
I don't want that to happen either. A lot of people don't want that to happen.
Right, so I can fix it.
Yeah, but you know, taking away people's free will isn't ideal. There are better ways to go about that.
Like how?
And did Eve happen to go with Dawn?
Yeah, the demon child wants to take all of your free wills because she doesn't think you can handle it.
I don't know. That depends. How is Beyonce doing? Like when Eve starts to lead her away from the situation, are we moving fast enough to have caught up? Or
yeah, you are. Beyonce's just quite dazed.
Okay. I think Eve would probably catch up a little bit late in the conversation, but yeah, she's there.
Oh, you know, things like restabilizing the atmosphere and things like that. You know, that kind of thing. There are dips here and there, and they're bad, but and things are, and his expression sinks a little bit because things are a bit shit. But overall, the trend has been relatively positive.
Okay.
I mean,
I guess I could give free wills back. But
I mean, smallpox isn't a thing anymore. For example, we fixed that. It's
Do you
gone.
do you want it to be a thing again? Do you want smallpox?
No, absolutely not. We got rid of that for a reason. It was very bad.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I'll give free wills back, but I can't like fix the stuff that happened, especially with my mom. So, can I keep the other parents that I picked? If they're, I mean, they should still be okay.
Wait, you mean like Nina and Janie?
Yeah, but she got a little bit lost. I didn't do it this time.
This time. Is this how other people feel when John talks about his backstory?
What do you mean exactly when you say you picked them?
Because they were nice, and my mom was just like being weird with like demons, and it gets really annoying watching your parents just like love demons like that and do stupid things.
I can totally yeah, that makes sense.
And I didn't have to hula hoop anymore like you used to have.
Did they agree to the whole?
I don't know.
And Dawn kind of visibly looks a little bit uncomfortable.
I like to imagine that just in the background there's the quiet squeaking of the caterpillar.
Yes.
Just the rusty
Yeah.
spray.
Yeah.
And there was that whole thing that happened, and they were really upset. But it's okay. I can go, and I won't pick up all of my toys, just some of them, the ones that I like. So I'm gonna go home now.
Right. Well, it was very nice talking. Like Dawn is genuinely at a loss to do as to what to do, because it's like it's horrified. He is horrified that it sounds like Sophie just like was like, you're gonna be my parents. And there was no arguing with that. But it's like this demon child shouldn't just be wandering around on their own. What do you do? He is
This is suddenly far too close to the to that one kid in Resident Evil 7 for my liking. It's like, you're my mom now.
Yeah, you're my mom now. Yeah.
But I'll be over to play, Dawn. I'll come over to your house to play.
Just make sure to call first. Like you know that kind of thing.
So that Mary can make cookies. Will she make cookies?
She might. I usually make cookies.
Oh, will you make cookies? I like chocolate chip.
Yeah, me too. They're really good.
So now I want chocolate chip cookies.
And Dawn is thinking he would really like chocolate chip cookies with a little something extra in them right now.
Sophie, she just like casually mentions details about Dawn's life that she shouldn't know.
Yeah, and Dawn is like increasingly uncomfortable, but he's actually doing a decent job of hiding it. But it's like,
Hey, Eve, are you going to arrest Dawn?
why would she? What?
No, of course not, Sophie.
Okay.
I'm not going to arrest Dawn.
But isn't that didn't you train with that?
What did I do?
Yeah, Dawn hasn't done anything though.
Not yet.
That's a little ominous. Okay. Eve just looks like she's got a nice smile on her face. She doesn't make any comment about that. She just kind of nods and she's like, well, you know what? She laughs a little bit. She's like, if Dawn does something bad in the future, then maybe we'll deal with it then. But as of right now, Dawn's fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Okay. And you need to be careful. You're really nice, so I don't want that thing to happen.
What thing?
That thing, that thing is a little vague.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to. I mean, it's not nice, and you all seem like you want me to be good. So,
Well, maybe if you tell us what the thing is, then we can know what to look out for and, be prepared so that the thing doesn't happen. So what do you mean?
well, you're going to die.
But like all of us, or
No. No, you're going to stay here forever. And Eve's going to die.
and again, Don looks. He cannot hide now that he looks visibly uncomfortable.
Some of the smile kind of drops from Eve's face a little bit, not enough to like turn her expression mean or disapproving or anything, just a little bit dimmer. And she's like, she lets go of Beyonce and crouches down in front of Sophie again. She says, what do you mean, Sophie? Why am I going to die? What's going to happen?
Because you're going to get stabbed in your chest, and Beyonce's going to get killed too. And so is Nina.
Do I need to roll something to remember what
Yes,
was
you can.
missing? Let's see, what would that be, like an education for memory or recall? Let's see.
I think
22.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah,
You remember all of it.
Don remembers, a lot of unpleasant things. And suddenly he doesn't just look visibly uncomfortable, he looks horrified. There's just a flash of it across his face, like he looks horrified. And he just kind of mutters, I wouldn't. And that's it.
It's okay. You can stay here, Dawn. And we could bring Mary and the kids.
I think they would prefer to be where they are already. That's why. I mean, we are already living and working where we want to.
But you can go through the trap door and you can get them.
I would rather not. Like I said, we're rather happy where we're already living and working. And I mean I would never. And he kind of briefly, uncomfortably glances to Eve.
Since Sophie specifically mentioned the stab wound, can I roll to see if Eve remembers?
Yes, please.
Okay. 25.
Yes, you remember.
Okay. Where Eve was kind of questioning Dawn's hesitation, especially on the way over to Baptiste earlier, now she does not question anything. And that smile becomes increasingly dimmer as she is trying her best to not show that she's also in the process of remembering some very not cool things. So she reaches out and she takes Sophie's hand again, and she's like, "Okay, well, thank you for telling us. That's very kind of you. Thank you for answering the question. Maybe we should get you back home now."
It's okay. I can go home myself. I know how to get there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You know how to get back there by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, in that
My condolences. Sorry.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Eve is flabbergasted. She just doesn't say anything to that. She looks up to Dawn and just her eyes widen just a fraction for a second. She turns back to Sophie and she's like, "Well, that's very kind of you, Sophie. Thank you for that."
She like curtsies a little bit. She's so polite.
Eve lets go of her hand and stands up and steps back.
And she tells Beyonce too, she's like, yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna get cut into pieces. And then she like starts walking off again.
Oh, this child.
Yeah, so you had an encounter with a creepy child.
I think that's a bit of an understatement. You want to try that again? That was alarming.
A child wanted to really play with you all, and you had lots of fun, and you all feel so much better after talking. I can't even do it.
What a banger of an evening. That's for sure.
Don manages to shake himself loose from the shock long enough to immediately text Mary and be like, if this redheaded demon child shows up, do not let him in. Or be extremely cautious, etc., etc.
You know what I'm going to say that happens? She goes by their house, but somehow they encounter her with Girl Scout cookies. She just sells them, tries to sell them a box.
Mary's going to buy them Thin Mints.
Yes. She like cheerfully sells a box and then leaves like a note or drawing or something on one of them for Don. So when he gets home, he'll see that she was there.
Don just internally screaming, stuffing his face with Thin Mints he doesn't trust, but they're Thin Mints, and it's like you can't stop eating Thin Mints. They're amazing.
So after that encounter, what will you all do? You have an NPC that is very scared right now, and you have a John that is on a caterpillar.
He's reading.
The NPC is scared.
Join the club. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, the character's scared? I'm sorry. I'm not, but...
I'd like to roll an education to see what I figure out from my own diary.
Yeah, what are you trying to figure out? I'm sorry.
Everything. Oh, it's a critical fail. I only got a 22.
That was a critical...
Hold up! But yeah, that's a lot. That's, you have to understand, John does 2 things.
Yeah. But the 22 is enough to remember his, the dream, not whatever happened in that lost episode.
Also, that bullet journal contained notes from the John who was doing the murdering. I remember this. So
yes.
I'd like to know why I murdered everyone.
To save the world. It was part of what you had to do to save everybody.
Yeah, except those guys.
Well, they had to be sacrificed for it. It was like part of the spell.
All right.
There was
do I seem very deranged in the writing? Is it like
yes?
And then they'll all see. They'll all be okay. All right, good.
Yeah, very kind of deranged. Kind of. That's not you. You wouldn't really normally do those things.
Okay. I'm going to tear out a sheet of paper, make it look nice, add like a border, etc. And then John is going to note down all of the steps of the ritual, any warning signs as to his like mental state, how it seems to have decayed over time. And then he puts like a nice sticker on it, and he goes and finds Don and Eve, and he says, "So I think are we all across the very strange dream that occurred?"
Don actually jumps a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to sneak up on you. I suppose you call them sneakers, right? Anyway, as I was going to say, with the whole the ritual circle and the everything that happened, are we all across that?
I think when Dawn jumps a little bit, Eve just closes her eyes and takes a very deep breath through her nose. But in response, she's like, Yeah, I think so. How do you all feel about going back to maybe like the bed and breakfast and having a chat? I feel like that's a good starting point.
I agree.
There's
So
some
it's-
stuff that maybe we should yeah.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. And I do have some news. But just before that, Don, if you wouldn't mind holding on to this, I'll explain later. But if you just, and he'll hand over the page that he's written on. I'll explain when we're having our conversation. But I'd feel better having it in your hands now.
Is the page even written in English, or is it all just going to be gobbledygook to...
No, it's in English. It's been specifically written to be understandable to someone other than John. There's a flowchart.
Of course there is.
Is there anything... Oh. Is there anything about mind controlling somebody in there?
Probably. There's a lot. Anyway, John will be like, I'll explain everything. But as Eve suggested, perhaps off the street.
Yeah,
Did you notice that there are some very handsome FBI agents just standing in the park?
Yeah, the kind that wouldn't think to wear iron rings to punch ghosts or fill hula hoop to assault. That kind.
What? I'm sorry, I don't catch you. But anyway, yes, I think you're right, Eve. I think that perhaps we should retire.
And Dawn looks to Beyonce as well. Just
Beyonce's like crying and scared, and
Oh dear. They're there. John will try and comfort her. Very awkwardly.
you just hear something about the creepy kid. They're talking about the creepy kid.
Would you like some tea? Would that make you feel better? Let's get you some tea. And John will sort of like have his hands on her shoulders and sort of be gently guiding her back towards the bed and breakfast, making very ineffectual English comforting noises. There.
yeah, Dawn is
Worse, it could be
terrified.
raining.
Dawn is terrified, but it mostly just shows in the tension in his shoulders. He is hiding it relatively well.
But why would you be afraid? A sweet child just
Just told him he was gonna stab this nice lady to death.
yeah. So
These things happen.
Maybe Eve
To
should
quote unquote
arrest me.
save the world.
So as you walk back to the bed and breakfast, there are more TV characters around, and we're gonna go to break or when you walk back in to sit down and have your talk. So we're going on break now.
Awesome.
I was totally not muted. That was the creepy kid that did it. But anyway, everybody, welcome back to Madison. 2, like the number in the game title. Our party is at the bed and breakfast again. I'm going to say that the breakfast is like cleaned up, but they still have like a tray of food in it and tea and everything that they could want. And it's like all set up where you can sit there comfortably and talk.
John has made everyone tea.
That's so nice, John. Beyonce is sipping her tea, just kind of looking kind of warily at all of you.
Right, so as I was saying earlier, this journal, and he'll take out his bullet journal and like tap it for illustration, it seems to contain writing from a deranged future version of myself that believed he was saving the world. As you'll see on the illustrative diagram that I drew for you, Don, if you just go under the Pikachu sticker, yes, there, it appears to follow the degradation of my mind state as I think both you and I believed that performing this ritual would save the world, which doesn't seem right.
No,
as I would
because
normally never do any kind of crime or murder. And he sounds really intense when he says that and like makes eye contact with both of you. I would never.
And I would not, and Dawn kind of says it through gritted teeth, stab someone to death. Or preferably at all.
Yes, it's illegal. But as such, I've outlined the thought processes and such that he seemed to be going through, and figured that by advising an outside source, perhaps we could make sure that such thing would not repeat itself.
Okay,
And
so
I'll
we
be
all,
honest,
both that lady and the kid said that I was going to get killed by y'all. So I am a little bit worried.
well, Ms. Baptiste is hardly a reliable source of information, and Sophie is approximately 6 months old. So, again, not the most reliable source of information.
Sophie
And-
also said humans do stupid things, and they need to be stopped from destroying the world. And Dawn looks pointedly at John's bullet journal and the deranged writings therein.
Yeah, and she also told me what I had for lunch last week and who I was talking to before I came here.
And she sounded very interested in my family being her new family.
Yeah, so this happens all the time with y'all. Is Eve part of it too?
All the time seems a little strong.
Okay.
This is the second time I've wound up here, and this is somehow significantly more horrifying than the first.
Don't know how it can get more horrifying than this. And she's just going to take her tea and sip it and just kind of maybe scoot closer to Eve, because Eve's not the one who she was told would kill her.
John will push like a plate of biscuits across the table, cookies to take one to dip in her tea. Here you are.
Dawn just kind of glances at Beyonce and then away again and mutters once more, I wouldn't.
But the fact of the matter is, at the very least, we have some information. And if we know why it is that they thought the ritual would work, that means that we can have a look into alternate avenues that do not require human sacrifice. Which I think would probably be a good starting point.
Right, the whole destiny not written in stone thing, that whole kind of thing.
Yes,
that would be preferable. Yes, I'll create an alternate timeline where the horrible things do not happen.
Precisely. personally, I would like to avoid murder generally. And I'm glad that we're all on board and across it in the same way. And he will like look from person to person to get a nod from everybody. Right? We're all agreed?
Yeah, Don kind of nods. He looks very tired again and has procured another coffee.
Yeah, I agree. Who the kind of person do you think I am?
I've known you for approximately 48 hours, fiancé.
Yes, but I'm not the kind of person that would just want to do things and not have. I don't want.
Right. All I'm saying is that I do not wish to assume anything of you, considering that I met you approximately 2 days ago in a haunted house in New Orleans, and you've told me that you've stolen from a bookshop before.
That was an accident, or not quite an accident, but it's a book. It's not a person, a life.
John shoots her a doubtful look, and then turns to Eve for her nod.
Yeah, Eve nods.
Don does give John kind of a look like they're not even remotely the same, and just recalls John's reaction when he tossed that book into the recycle bin.
You know what? And Beyonce will like take out the money that Don gave her. John, here is the money. This is more than enough to cover the book. You go pay for it when this is all over with, and then
What?
we're clear. We're clear.
It's not my book or my bookshop. I'm not taking your money.
Well, I'm not going to go back there. So, you
Why
clearly
would I
offended.
go back there?
I don't know, but I'm not going back there. You're offended that I took a book a couple of years ago, so just make it right, please.
I no, that's not. No,
I can't go back
you
there.
Should make. This is rather. We could return to the murder and end of the world ritual at the moment, Miss Carter. I feel like that is probably more salient.
Okay, but I don't want you judging me about this book from forever ago.
Yep, priorities. Maybe let's forget about the book. That's.
Well, he brought it up.
Well, as I was saying, I feel like if we can look into the ritual that deranged future John was so invested in, that might give us a clue as to what he was attempting to achieve. Because I'll be honest, these are rather incomprehensible. And John will sort of flip through the book a few pages. There's a lot of talk about saving the world and avoiding a darkness to come, and not much in terms of what the ritual was actually designed to do. But at the very least, it should give me something to go off so long as we go to the library.
And I suppose it's the darkness remains vague, just the darkness. No elaboration.
An oncoming darkness, a great evil, a shadow that falls upon the world, a blight of one's own making. Yes. Not too elucidating.
So vague and cryptic. Wonderful.
Yes, precisely.
Delightful.
It does feel a bit like I found a log in a video game. But nevertheless, it does give us something to go off. And I feel like that is probably a good first step in averting whatever oncoming apocalypse is on its way here. I've found that usually research and determination will see through most apocalypse. And once that is sorted, we can work on, not being in Madison. I am also quite concerned with the TV character thing.
That was those were matched very high, basically perfect correlation with shows that Dee watched with a friend and I, and some movies.
Does seem more like your wheelhouse. Perhaps while I look into the ritual, you could look into that.
Well, Dee is apparently still here somehow, but I mean.
But she isn't, is she? We ran into her ghost.
Her ghost, but didn't seem to recognize, me, or, I mean, it was like anything. I was a stranger. So I don't know.
Is her ghost the one that keeps following you around, Dawn?
I wouldn't, and he kind of looks to John.
I'll put on the sunglasses.
Yeah, it's her ghost.
John gives a sad thumbs up.
Oh, well.
I do apologize, Eve. This must all seem rather opaque to you. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer. I simply am not sure how much explanation is required.
I mean, that is a very good question. How about we start with the basics? Anything that you think is extremely pertinent to know. We can skip out all the details, come back to those when they become relevant, but baseline, let's play a game of I don't know, just tell me what I need to know, I guess.
Absolutely. So you're currently in the town of Madison, which is not real and doesn't exist. Or technically, while it should theoretically exist, as soon as you cross the border into Madison, you are no longer in the continental United States, or in fact anywhere on Earth. It is in fact a pocket dimension at the edge of the known reaches of the galaxy. Is that right, Don?
Edges of the known universe, at least.
Edges of the known universe.
At least from the perspective of Earth.
Once one has entered Madison, the town is reluctant to let you leave. You may think that you can leave, but within a few weeks or months, you end up returning to the town, often against your will. Inside the town, there are multiple paranatural and supernatural events occurring all at once, essentially centered around the fact that this town was founded by a group of settlers who took advantage of a supernatural confluence of ley lines that created great effect with magic here. There was an entity trapped beneath the town, which was dealt with towards the end of last year, I believe. John is like flipping through his bullet journal as he says all of this. And it had been thought that the majority of the influence on Madison had been neutralized by that. The town takes the form of a person called Madison. In its most recent incarnation, she went by Dee. This woman recently died, and everything has gotten very strange since then. More strange. Baptiste, the woman in the wheelchair, is an aged succubus who was in fact present at the founding of the town several hundred years ago. From what I understand, compared to most of America, the town is quite old. But yes, she is a succubus and up to no good. And I believe she killed 8 of Don's colleagues.
Yes. After draining the problem entity that had been trapped under the town.
The young lady who we encountered earlier, Sophie, is half demon, half human. Her mother gave birth to her last winter. We were both present, and now she is the age that you see her. Demons are now attempting to colonize this town, from what I understand, which would be a bad thing because, as mentioned prior, the confluence of ley lines adds great emphasis to any magic performed in the area.
So, excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, Miss Knowles.
Um, what happened to all the energy that was drained? Because the lady in the wheelchair had almost none.
That is an excellent question and something we should look into.
Well, Sophie at least said that her father is still trapped.
That's true.
And what happened there? Why is he trapped?
He was
Well,
trying to take over the world.
Yes.
Seems to be a common enough theme here.
And apparently Sheila found herself a new demon to be groupie to.
Why would they want to take over the world? It's so much responsibility.
So Sophie said fix it. Which if that sounds familiar. That sounds like what was happening 2 years ago, or at least what the people who thought they were in control of things, that's what they were claiming they were going to do with the power allotted to them by the entity that was empowering them. Yes.
From what I understand, they also had a bit of a narrative about how free will was an illusion and evil and etc. Didn't they?
Well, it wasn't important in the grand scheme of things, at least in terms of reaching their goal. So basically, you're with us, or we make you with us. That's it.
So yes, broad sketch, that's essentially the situation.
Eve reaches into her back pocket and she pulls out a small card. And she slides it to everybody across the table. And it's a familiar card. It's the same business card that she would have offered last time. And it's got her name printed on it. It's just a very simple card with her telephone number and the little symbol at the top with the letters DNHA printed underneath. And she kind of slides it over and taps on the acronym. And she says, well, a large amount of the information that you've been kind enough to give to me is something that I'm already aware of. What I guess given the situation, it's probably better for me to disclose some information about myself, just going forward so that we're all on the same page. My name is Eva Lewin, and I am a federal agent. And I work for a division called the Division for Non-Human Affairs. So essentially, we work to help in dealing with keeping this sort of thing quiet from the general public. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because, like I said, I feel like it's probably a better idea for all of us to be on the same page here. A lot of the information that we have come to us it's spotty at best. We have a general knowledge of sort of the things that you've told me, but the only information that we get from inside Madison are the things that we get from people who come out of it, which I'm sure you can imagine is not a lot. So I guess my question is, are there any pertinent specifics that we're looking at here? I suppose the goal is to leave eventually. I would like to return to not this. But is there anything, well, I suppose, what are we dealing with now that is preventing us from doing that? And we can go from there. But yeah, what are we looking at specifically? There's so much happening I've had enough experience today alone, far greater than what I've expected to find here. Given the, like I said, limited information, it's far beyond my expectations. But yeah, so what specifically are you looking at here?
Well, that's rather the question, isn't it? The power vacuum caused by Dee's death, the weakening of Baptiste is also a factor. But as to what the entity is that is attempting to move in and replace them, that is rather the question. Whatever it is, I would suspect it is connected to the looming darkness that my mad future self refers to. And I would also suspect it's linked to those apocalyptic events that were occurring in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect if anyone, Dee would maybe be able to tell us something, but if her ghost is following me around, but I don't know if, I don't know if or how chatty her ghost is going to be.
Want me to chat?
Well, I mean possibly could we just use any kind of gestures to John? I mean, you have the glasses, right?
Yes. We could look into a Ouija board, I suppose.
Baptiste gave me some of her energy, so if you want to like undo whatever thing you did, so you can talk to her about doing all the Ouija stuff, you can.
I'm just not sure if that's a safe option.
I'm fine. I've got enough. She gave me some of her energy for whatever reason.
It's the for whatever reason that concerns me.
She seemed genuinely remorseful, though Dawn still seems pretty unimpressed by that.
Well, she said something to me about she had to make up for something. I wasn't really listening. I was trying not to, die. But I thought she was going to be deadly, but she wasn't. She was just like an old person.
Perhaps we should come up with a list of questions for Dee before.
Yeah, just let me know when you remove whatever thing you did so that I can let you talk to her. You see Beyonce like pour a little bit of I don't know where she got the alcohol from, but she pours it into her tea. She's just like drinking it.
John makes a disapproving face.
I don't suppose for Dawn's sake there happens to be on the tray any maybe a brownie or two that look exactly like the kind Ben makes.
Yes.
Yeah, neatly wrapped in plastic. Dawn kind of glances to one side and then the other and quickly shoves them in a pocket.
And you just see Beyonce like
Dawn's gonna sleep real good tonight.
So what do we want to ask Dee?
Well, what got a hold of Baptiste? What/whom?
How does she connect back to Beyonce? Because it all seems to connect to her as one of the founding families.
Perhaps, but I mean,
I'm flattered, but I'm not.
But something clearly got a hold of Baptiste, and last we saw Baptiste before all of this, she was
at the top of her game.
Yeah. Well, there was the whole thing with finding her in the cornfield and everything, and Sherry having to, and now Sherry's gone. But she wasn't. I mean, she was certainly top of the pecking order for a while, or seemed to be. Um, but anyone who would be able to reduce her to such a state would be worth looking into, I would think.
If you don't mind, Eve, I know you've said whom you work for, but why are you here?
Well, I suppose I gave you a bit of a vague answer the first time we met, didn't I? When I said research, and that is entirely true. I guess we work as a liaison between the government as a whole, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing most times when it comes to the funky shit, and the guys who handle most of it. So this division that I work for, we're kind of that middle ground between the two. We kind of funnel resources accordingly. So the more we can kind of, I guess, have a handle on the situation on our own without having to rely on the information that's given to us, which, by the way, it involves a lot of paperwork and a lot of snarky phone calls, which I'm not too fond of. So the research kind of falls more into that sort of area. This was never supposed to happen, but essentially it was a recon job gone bad, I guess you could say.
Right.
So who gives you information?
That is an acronym that I do remember. Hold on. Nikki, what's the acronym?
Smurfs.
Yeah, no, the other acronym.
Oh,
the actual one.
Oh, I have to look for it because I just had Smurfs in my head.
Me too. Just the blue guys. It's the blue guys. I know there's an SSR in there somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah, there is. Let me look real quick.
God,
oh my
Eve
gosh,
knows so much more than I do. God damn it.
Forever to come up with this, and then I said Smurfs, and that's what stuck.
Everything left my brain the moment I heard the word Smurfs, because I was like, that sounds like a not nice name, and Eve would absolutely use that because she doesn't like them.
UMSSF.
That's the one. UMSSF. Okay, that's the acronym. Which Eve gives you the long version of that. I can't remember what the long version. I don't ever
I'll
think
give that to you all later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we ever talked about the long version, did we, Nikki?
I think I don't know, but when you say that, Beyonce just kind of, she spills her drink and then she just like looks like she's looking for an exit. They are trying to get out of there.
John immediately grabs a handful of napkins and begins trying to clean up.
Eve does not look surprised in the slightest that Beyonce is trying to get the hell out of there. She just kind of like nods knowingly. She's like, I like to affectionately refer to them as the Smurfs. If you see them, they tend to like to wear blue, which is an interesting choice. And the way she says interesting does not sound like it's interesting in the very slightest. And she does not have a high opinion of these people. But so they essentially handle the majority of the weird shit. And they hand that off to us with only pertinent details. So we can kind of assist them in cleaning up where necessary. And like I said, lots of tedious phone calls and lots of attitude. You would be surprised how much attitude comes from a bunch of guys dressed in blue who handle scary things. It's neither here nor there, but you get the point.
Yes. Yes, right.
Don sees Beyonce getting ready to run off and kind of stands up. He doesn't like grab her or anything, but kind of halfway goes after. I don't think splitting up is really a good idea right now.
Are those people in town right now? Eve,
Oh,
the
the Smurf.
yeah,
Not to my knowledge, no. I don't think so.
and you're not going to like take me to them, right?
No, no. That's not why I'm here.
Hey,
Okay,
Dawn,
I'll stay. I just don't. I can't go there.
Dawn kind of looks to Eve with a slight mixture of suspicion, but mostly curiosity, like what the actual fuck is a Smurf? Because it sounds like it's a little more than just like people that wear blue and go investigate creepy things.
Oh, by the way, Dawn, you would probably be able to figure out that those phone calls that you made to try to find Ben.
Oh, to try and get some fucking answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would be able to put together that maybe that they sent you to Eve's organization.
Oh my god. I started hearing English accents and
You didn't get answers.
everything was really roundabout and
Or just a busy phone number.
to be fair, he was getting a lot of that before.
Yeah. Okay, so you haven't lost fiance yet.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell is a Smurf? Like, actually, like, is there something like? He kind of just vaguely gestures to Beyonce because the reaction is like he's thinking like, are these the people I have to worry about dragging me off to a black site never to be seen again?
There's yeah, they're just a group of people, and they just one of my parents, they made a mistake. They had this whole psychic scam they were doing, and these people came up and gone. They show up in their ugly blue outfits and ask questions, and then people just disappear.
Eve looks like this is an apt description. Their ugly blue outfits. Fuck those guys.
They're ugly.
For a scam?
Yeah, it was a kind of a big scam. He'd pretend to be a psychic and take off with a bunch of money, or there was a whole compound out in the middle of the desert, and just a little bit of a scam.
Compound? That sounds more like a cult than a scam.
Well, I mean, that was part of it. It was all to get money, and it wasn't that much. Okay, it was a small, big, international thing.
So judging on the file that Eve has, how much of this is a lie?
It's a very, very. She is not really given the scope of this scam thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Scientology level scam.
Eve is not going to burst that bubble because it's not pertinent. It's not pertinent. It's not. If that's what Beyonce wants to say, then who is Eve to interject?
Yeah, it was a huge thing, and them taking the people off site did help a lot of people not get scammed. But Beyonce probably wants to be a little bit in the dark about that.
Right. Well, I don't know where to go from here, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Dawn does not seem terribly reassured.
But we really don't want those people to even. So they know about this town?
Oh, the Smurfs, this town? Absolutely.
Oh. Well, we can't let them.
I mean, in all fairness, you have people disappearing and reappearing and disappearing again. And I'm pretty sure John has been classified as some sort of missing or dead. Only God knows how many times. And yes, John, we do have a file on that. But that...
I don't mean to.
Wait, how many times have you been missing, John?
Missing or dead?
Both.
Oh, missing 12? Dead 5.
Wait.
Eve just nods like this sounds like an accurate number to her.
But not actually dead.
No, well, I have been classified as dead by the British government 5 times.
But you didn't die.
John takes a sip of tea.
Why are those ghosts around you looking at me like that?
I wouldn't know. I can't see ghosts.
They're pointing. I can't hear them because of this thing you did, this spell that you did.
Oh, well, I mean, you wouldn't want to hear what they have to say anyway. They're dead. They don't have much to add to the conversation. Anyway, so
You're talking a lot.
Essentially, everyone here has had some sort of supernatural experience, and I think that that's really enough to be working from, don't you think?
And apparently it doesn't take that much to get a file. Apparently my friend and I wound up getting a file started for associating with Janie in college. And I assumed it was the US government. It probably is them as well. But and he kind of looks pointedly at Eve.
I think one of them would have had a file before that. Before college. If not both of them. Just from what I know about Dawn and Ben.
Yeah,
how many watch lists are they on?
I mean, Ben was raised by crazy right-wing preppers. Who had a great knowledge of the law and used it to be an absolute menace and get away with shit.
So all of the watch lists.
Yeah. They technically weren't breaking laws because they knew the law.
No, you don't end up on a watch list for breaking laws. You end up on it for being close to it.
They've mellowed some over time, but Ben started college when he was like 16, so... And to be fair, they did even though this also technically wasn't completely illegal, they built an experimental rocket engine in Ben's backyard. So
yeah, that's another watch list.
There might have been some minor hacking on one of their parts.
So Eve, is their file like a foot thick each?
Oh,
Probably,
absolutely.
Ben's is probably like an entire cabinet.
They just have a room for those.
Yeah, there's just like a very specific room where it's just a whole bunch of files on Ben specifically.
And then Dawn just has like a fairly thick folder, and then Ben just has like a whole room.
John has a whole department.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, death number 4.
The DNHA is so
12.
sick of gaining information on these two motherfuckers. Just have like a whole van full of just
the good
boxes.
News is John is very easy. Like after the fact, if someone came up to him and was like, "We need to interview you about this," he'd be like, "Absolutely," and would tell them everything. It's just everything he says sounds completely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like he sounds like he's lying all the time, even though he isn't.
Like, who is it this time? Is it the angry cowboy or the goth vampire?
I just look like this. It's not a personal style choice.
But yeah, Dawn does kind of give Eve a little look like he's suspecting that there's a file with the DNHA as well. And he does kind of open his billfold, and is the card that Eve gave him before in there?
Yes.
Already? Huh. Oh, I guess I don't need that then. And he puts his billfold back in his pocket.
I feel like when Dawn gives Eve like that very pointed look, she just sips her tea and just nods. She doesn't even make eye contact with him. She just nods. She sees him looking at her in her peripheral.
John is still looking slightly hunted by Beyonce being like, how many times have you actually died, John?
Well, it's a little concerning.
I don't have to answer that question.
John over here pleading the fifth.
Yeah, Dawn does give John a bit of a look too, but it doesn't last nearly as long, and it's not nearly as suspicious as the look he gave me. Because that almost seems normal by this point.
Right, so we should probably ask those questions of Dee.
Well, and perhaps ways to stop this, obviously.
Do you think she'll know that?
I don't know.
I suppose it's worth checking.
Well, and perhaps finding out if she knows who this new demon that Sheila ran off with.
He is
that
attempting to achieve.
Okay, so just break the thing. Make sure I don't. Can you put it back right after it's over so that I don't?
Maybe we should head upstairs to one of the suites so you can lie down.
And close the door so that you can't run off to try and break the seal in Baptiste's house.
Okay. Yeah. The seal that's in the, was it the gazebo that the seal was in?
Yes.
I think it was, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like the gazebo. I used to sit there all the time.
Right, I guess we head upstairs.
Whose room?
I mean, my instinct is to say Don's, but that's just because that's the one we've been in the most.
Beyonce's got like two stuff in their mouth.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Beyonce just shoves them in her mouth all the way.
Dawn immediately is like, "Hey, look, you might want to pace yourself on those. I ate one, and I don't think I could have made myself get up off of a couch if the building was on fire."
I'm fine. I got a high tolerance.
Yeah, me too. But the guy who made this strain spent 10 years working on it. And it turned out exactly like he wanted it to for his anxiety, which is really bad. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's get upstairs before whatever.
John is going to lean over to Eve and be like, is cannabis illegal here?
Is cannabis illegal?
It's Madison. Who the fuck knows?
The town provided those brownies for y'all, so
yeah, the town
That is a
gave
good
us
point.
the brownies. So
That is a good point.
if anything, then Madison broke the law. So
I feel like just for John's peace of mind, Eve is going to point that out and be like, well, I mean, they were here for us, so I'm going to have to go with it's fine.
Yes, but so were the instructions for the murder ritual, so that doesn't really appease me.
You know what? That's very fair. That's very fair. How about we put a pin in it? I will take a little look for you, and we'll come back to this topic. We'll just put a pin in it.
All right. You can
Yeah.
see, like, if this were a Telltale game, it would just say, like, John will remember this.
Yeah,
Eve just gives John a little pat on the back.
Yeah, but to be fair, the brownies
Beyonce
help
will not remember this.
the brownies help with anxiety and
Fucking, I would
depression and
love to
God.
see John on one of those brownies. That would be amazing. The most relaxed this man has ever been in his life, and he's still like, I'm not sure I should be allowed to be doing this.
Yeah, they basically bring Ben down to a normal level of weed chill, and for the average person, like I said, Don was like, I couldn't make myself get off the couch if the building was on fire.
Rip.
So upstairs.
Yeah.
Yep, John's room.
Okay.
It sounds like.
Yes. And John, your room, I think we talked, did we talk about what your room is like?
No, we didn't. Because John didn't want to go inside. As soon as he realized that all of the rooms were perfect, he was like, I don't even want to look at it.
Why did I picture My Chemical Romance posters?
You shouldn't, because John is a real fucking square. Like, he looks like he's cool, but he's not cool, is a very important thing about John.
John's room is really, really nice, and it is a really room for a square.
It's like there are like a bunch of bookshelves, and everything is alphabetized.
Yes, it is. There's like a wall of bookshelves that everything is neat. It's like organized it's organized in library order.
Yeah.
But all
It's
the
essentially just a library with a bed in it.
Yes.
And the door opens and John is like, oh no.
There's also a desk where he can work and write.
With like a really comfortable desk chair. It's
Yes.
like, other than that, it's like, it doesn't look like a great room to anyone else because they're like, wow, this is just a library with a bed in it. But John's like, wow. This is dangerous.
All the books look alike. You know, they just have different titles, so the bookshelves look perfect.
Yeah.
It's so neat and clean.
Yeah. Exactly. You understand exactly, Nikki. This man is not cool.
Oh yeah, the bed is also made like perfectly. You know, there's nothing out of place in this whole room.
I thought
No
you were going to
rules
say
are broken.
the bed is made of books or something.
No, it's just perfectly made.
The headboard has like bookshelves in it. Like no space is wasted.
You know what? I can appreciate that for John because I had that as a child.
So John, what are you going to do in your room?
John immediately gets distracted by the books, obviously.
Oh, there's town history books. There are history books. There's law books about the town, everything that he's wanted to read.
I would like to make an education roll.
Yes. What do you
Check the town law books and see if the cannabis is
I was gonna say
That's the first thing I'm doing. Can I add research into this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that is a 35.
Yes, it is legal.
It is legal. John will look
there's
up and be
like
like,
a
it is legal.
There's like 10 whole pages of code about it.
Excellent.
Did he say it's legal out loud?
Yeah.
John just smiles at him.
Eve gives him a little thumbs up. She's a big smile, like she's so proud of him.
I love that Eve has known this man for like 3 hours at this point. It's like, my son, John.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Don looks at him and says, "Yeah, I grabbed an extra one if you want one later."
Holy shit. It's legal. He won't say no. God will sort of just like nod agreeably and move on to reading the next thing he wants to
I
read.
mean, if you have trouble sleeping or something, really relaxing, really great.
Well, you know, I had 2 of them, and I haven't felt a thing.
Really? Like, Don looks genuinely surprised by that. Like, absolutely gobsmacked.
This is how we find out that Beyonce is actually a zombie. Like, she's been dead this whole time.
No, what she does after she says that is she looks over at Eve and smiles at her and just says, I just love your hair. It's just gorgeous. You're really pretty.
Eve is fighting for her life, trying not to laugh. uh,
Dawn just very matter-of-factly goes, there it is.
Eve just politely says, thank you.
This room is a really nice room too. You know, I really like books. I pretend that I don't, but I read a lot.
I had assumed for the fact that you committed a crime to get a book that you liked books.
Yeah. I used to read all this. I would go to the library and get hundreds of books, and then they were late, and so we had to pay a fine. But I just want to read and draw. That's all I want to do with my days.
I mean, that's fair. Those are both fun.
John nods in
shall we-
complete understanding.
Shall we go ahead and see
Do
if
the
we can
seance?
check? Yes, that.
Yeah, we should. There's so many ghosts in this. I'm just sick of ghosts. They're like everywhere.
I mean, that's fair. I think I would get rather tired of that too, especially given how messy you've said a lot of this is.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely horrifying. I really can't overstate.
Yeah, this whole town is horrifying.
Yes.
Yes,
Like, I don't-
hard agree.
I can't sleep very well at night because this town is it's a nightmare. You gotta
No, I'm just
Beyonce that's
Possibly literally.
You gotta Beyonce, just so you all know, Beyonce is completely relaxed. She will tell you anything you want.
This is dangerous.
They are just like, yeah, this is all nice. Everything is nice.
I love these
You're all
people. They're
friends.
my new best friends.
I told her two was too much. One was too much.
Eve is going to gently guide Beyonce to somewhere they can sit.
Yeah, there's plenty of seating.
There's definitely like a window seat.
And the seat's like nice and soft, so Beyonce's just touching the seat. Like,
She is not just high on life. Oh dear.
You are
she had
lucky.
two.
You are lucky they didn't come back to a bunch of colorful blotter paper for Dawn, and that he did not share that.
But this is Beyonce on two of those, so there is a high tolerance there.
Yeah, that Dawn is genuinely blown away. Like that's unbelievable.
Right. Let's seance.
Right.
So John will go over and remove the bracelet.
Okay. And you'll just see Beyonce slump against the seat, and like you can do the ghost talking now. So who you just want to talk first?
Dawn kind of looks expectantly at John,
No, we
Even
made
though-
a list. We made a list.
even though he's the one that was friends with Dee.
Yeah, John will be looking expectantly at Dawn as well.
Eve just
So they're
crosses
just
her
looking at
arms.
each other.
Okay, so the
She's your
list.
friend.
Okay, so the list was. Now I'm having a big brain moment. Let's see. We were wanting to know about the who drained Baptiste, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening to the town?
What's happening to the town? The identity of Sheila's new demon boyfriend, I believe,
Yes, that was mentioned.
and any idea of the identity of the looming darkness?
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
I cannot remember.
I think that's good. I think by that point we'll have come up with something else probably.
Okay.
Yeah, can we get an approximate timeline on when each of us is supposed to bite the fucking dust? Because, like, is that something that goes?
Yeah, like how much time do we have?
I would like to know when I'm supposed to technically stop existing, so that would be great.
Well, yeah. How much time do we have to sort this? And is there a best practice? Is there a way to buy us more time?
So the very, very cheerful D goes. This versus like, are you happy here? Do you have everything you want? Can I make anything else happen?
Don blatantly does not look happy. He looks incredibly tired and stressed. And
no,
frankly,
I know you're stuck here, so I'll make it nice. I'll give you what I want you to be happy while you're stuck here.
But that's the thing. I don't want to be stuck here.
Very thoughtful of you, though. We do appreciate it.
I'll give you anything that you want. So, you're safe here. I can protect you here. But in 3 days, you have 3 days before all of the bad stuff happens. So don't leave the bed and breakfast in 3 days. Just stay in the building. I'll protect you. I'll make sure nobody can get you. I protected Sherry.
Yeah, but what happens to everybody else in 3 days?
You
I can't
protected
protect
Sherry? Where is she?
Yeah, I moved the building, the part of the building she was in, so that it doesn't get her. But the town brought you back in, so I have to protect you all too. She's still in the part of the house that she was in. I just kind of moved it. It took a lot of energy to move it.
Wait, so what doesn't get her?
The thing that's trying to destroy you all and destroy the town and the world. Usually they always try to destroy the world. I don't know why. But I can protect you here. And then you can go after I finish protecting you.
Destroy the world? I don't suppose it's claiming it's trying to fix the world, is it?
Yeah. As usual.
What is it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it before. It's just really kind of scary. Not scary looking, just scary feeling.
Where did it come from?
There's this, you can't see it from here, but there's this place, and it's hard to explain, but there's these people in blue.
Yes.
And they're part of it.
They're part of it.
Yeah, they're working for it, or they want this to happen.
Right.
But listen, I can really, really help y'all stay safe.
This looming darkness or danger thing that wants to destroy / fix the world, they seem to have a childlike understanding of how to go about this.
No, they just want to kill everything.
Oh my! That didn't seem like
no. So I mean, I'd rather it didn't happen because I do like everyone, and I really don't want to be stuck being dead.
What do you mean stuck being dead? You mean if the world doesn't end, you'll be able to return?
No, just I thought you did research on the town, John.
Yeah, there was
did. I
a
tried to, but then there were demons, and
there's a whole reincarnation every 7 years thing, or there was.
Yeah, that's gone right now. And I'd rather it not be gone.
This thing, what got a hold of Baptiste and
No, I did that.
oh,
Look, she hurt your friends, John. I mean, Don. I'm sorry, I messed up names. That's Nikki that messed up the name. I told her she had to. She's supposed to be making up for it. She can't bring them back, but she can at least make up for all the evil that she's done.
Make up for it? How?
Well, she's supposed to be apologizing to you whenever she sees you. Her energy's gone somewhere, so I make her play games. There's some unpleasant things that happen. I mean, she shouldn't have done that.
I mean, Dawn
she killed
again
a lot of people.
Looks visibly uncomfortable at the mention of unpleasant things.
yeah. So does John.
Being
John looks
done.
more uncomfortable by the I make her play games, though.
Well, I don't have anybody else to talk to here. So, yeah.
Do you know what happened to Sheila and Nina?
Sheila ran off with a demon.
They're dead.
That was their bodies. We found them. I mean, Nina, her like there was a ritual, and they were the sacrifices.
So Sheila didn't just run off with a demon, she died. Do you know what happened?
Let me ask her. Sheila said it was a ritual for the demon, and he promises to bring her back. But I don't think he's going to bring her back. I think she got lied to.
And Nina? Because Nina wouldn't agree to something like that.
No, he's like looking around. She's not here.
She was a ghost in the library, though. We saw her there.
Yeah, something's weird's happening with that. I think it's something with the boat.
Well, Sophie did say that she was staying with Nina and her girlfriends. So that would be Nina and Janie, and Nina had often disappeared or something.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the ghost of a boat, but it keeps blowing up over and over again.
Right. So really what we need is more information on this new cult, more information on what they're trying to achieve and how. It has to be soon, and the fact that it's
3 days.
time. Yes, no, I know that. You already said, but if it's that soon, that tends to mean that they're waiting for a particular event or something to happen. So I should take a look and see if there's anything happening celestially. But
Yeah, it's an eclipse,
eclipse.
and like V will give the information what planets and stars are lighting up, all the stuff that I don't know because I'm not an astronomer.
So that's it. There's an astronomical event, and I just lose my mind and stab somebody.
It might be us trying to counter the ritual that's being performed.
You're going to counter it, right?
Perhaps.
I'd rather not murder somebody.
No, we've already agreed that murder is not on the table.
But if you do, you can stay here. I'll protect you.
No, if one of us murders somebody, then we have to face justice and pay for our crimes.
Well, well, it's kind of hard with the this town being the way it is. Like I couldn't send Baptiste to a demon jail. There's not a demon jail. It's just demons hanging out doing evil things.
Well, no, but we're all human. It wouldn't be for demons. It would just be these people went insane and killed people. We have justice systems, but we're not going to kill anyone, so it shouldn't be an issue. But
Well,
Dawn's
Dawn's not happy with what I did with Baptiste, so what should I do with her?
I don't. John will look at Eve.
Eve just like points at herself. Like what?
You're the legal one, Eve. You're the law.
This is very quickly where Eve clicks into this is going to happen all the time. She's going to have to be the word of the law. Right. So
You said you work in non-human affairs. What do you do when demons commit crimes?
that's not. Oh, John, that's not really what we do. We don't put demons in demon jail, unfortunately. I know that might shake you a little bit, but
Lily
we don't.
says the Smurfs do it.
That's right. Yeah, the Smurfs. They. Oh goodness. There's no demon jail. I'm sorry. The Smurfs are the ones who typically handle that sort of thing. So unfortunately, I'm not an expert in this particular instance. I'm not sure. I don't know what to do with the demon.
So do I still have my card game with Baptiste later?
I mean, it doesn't feel right.
Well, she cheated. She used to cheat all the time until like the 500th time, and she just kind of gave up.
Oh, that's kind of sad, honestly.
Okay, she deserves it.
Sorry, that was a picture frame falling off my desk.
That was she throwing something at these ghosts.
Dawn is just at a loss. Like he has absolutely no idea what to say.
What should I do with her, Dawn?
It's beyond him. Like,
I mean,
despite
not
the-
that. Apparently, not that.
Yeah, despite the 2 cups of coffee and the fact that he has not yet had a brownie, he looks very tired all of a sudden.
God, it's like 10 a.m. We've done nothing today. I'm already done. John's ready to go back to bed.
Look, I want this person to pay. I want this demon to pay for what they did. They hurt a lot of people. And I'm going to protect you all as long as I can while you're in the town.
Well, maybe she could help us.
So let her go.
I'm not saying just completely. I mean,
A work release.
something like that. I mean, just
Roll.
making somebody suffer forever doesn't bring anybody back. Or
No, but
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of things where on TV where people had to suffer forever.
That doesn't
Yeah, but-
mean it's right. Have you seen how
Right.
inaccurate the supernatural theology is? You really cannot run things off what
I
you see
love
on television.
Supernatural. I love
Well, it's
Supernatural.
very inaccurate.
It's one of my favorite shows.
It shouldn't be.
Like, you could tell it's one of her favorite shows because there was like supernatural people in the characters in the town.
Yeah.
We saw Sam and Dean, and I got them to run away from us by telling them somebody was stealing their hubcaps.
Oh, somebody was stealing their hubcaps? Yeah, they were.
They hate that.
Yeah, they're really handsome, aren't they?
I mean, yes, they're
yes, they are, but it's
they're
beside
himbos.
the point.
They can help you. You want them to?
Wait, are you saying that
That's
there
not.
are?
That's not. I don't think that's the kind of help I want.
I've only seen, 1 or 2 episodes of that television show, mainly because I kept getting angry at how inaccurate the theology was. But somehow I feel like they wouldn't be all that much help. Don't they get distracted quite a lot?
Yeah, but it always works out in the end.
Yes, but this isn't a television show.
Oh, right. That's all I have right now is TV shows of protecting you all and playing games with Baptiste.
Right.
Oh, and talking to your friend.
Which
But
friend?
they get kind of Liliance. What's? I don't know, so many
Beyond
different
Miss
names.
Knowles. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but they keep getting annoyed at me.
Well, yes.
So what else can I do to help you? I can do a work release with Baptiste. But what else can I do to help?
I just stay nearby so we can ask any further questions if we have them.
Okay. This is so. Now I'm not going to have my card partner. If one of you dies, you can play with me, but don't die.
I'm terrible at cards. You don't want that.
That's okay. It's just as long as it's somebody else that's not horribly murdered.
Well, if you'd like, maybe this evening I could set up. I saw a spirit board. We could try. Do you like Scrabble? There's a Scrabble board in here. Okay, well maybe we
I'm
could
really
do
good at
Scrabble, and you can, because the Ouija board you use the letters anyway. So we'll figure something out.
Eve pipes up and she's like, you could write it into the agreement that, she's free on this work situation for like 23 hours of the day, but then one hour a day she has to play cards with you. I mean, you can work around with it. You could include something like that.
She's going to be so glad not to play cards with me. She's kind of tired of it. I could just see her give up after so long.
Well, thank you for your help, Dee. I'll see you this evening and we can play some Scrabble. All right?
Okay, and just if you want any or need anything, I'll get it for you.
Well, thank you. That's very thoughtful. Very thoughtful indeed. Yes, well, perhaps you could let Miss Carter reemerge.
All right. And like all the weird stuff happens, and you see Miss Carter just kind of sit up and is clearly sober now.
Are you all right, Beyonce?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm actually not as tired and as normal. Is it done?
Yes. Yes. It's
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat.
Oh, I grabbed you another muffin.
Thanks. And they'll pop the muffin in their mouth and look at the brownies.
That I perhaps wouldn't recommend at the moment.
Yeah. Caution with those.
Then I have like 2 before I came up here.
You
Stick to
did.
the
You had
muffins.
to. Yeah.
Stick
But
to the
maybe, yeah, keep to the muffins.
Just
Yeah,
for
okay.
now.
I have a high tolerance, just letting y'all know.
Yes.
So what's the plan?
So you've said. Well, the good news is it looks like there are quite a few research materials here that I thought I would have to go to the library for. So I suppose I can start here. Try and figure out some more. Eve, perhaps you could try reaching out to your people regarding what these so-called what was the Smurfs are up to.
Yeah, I can certainly touch base and see if I can find anything of interest.
And Don, if you promise not to throw any of the books on the floor, maybe you could help me?
I feel like there was something else I was going to help you with. Like there was a ring or something that
yes!
you wanted to enhance.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Of course,
Yeah,
yes.
if you could draw out those sigils or runes or whatever it was and the layout, I could etch or solder them or
Yes.
whichever you would prefer.
That would be very useful. I have a couple of designs, and John will go through his book and pull out the designs that he made last session, or not last session, and hand those over to Don.
Yeah, I don't suppose that that Don was lucky enough to have a fabrication frame in his suite.
Is that what he wants?
Oh, that would be very useful and delightful.
He has what he
because
wants.
then, oh cool, he can just put this in a CAD program and have a thing precisely laser cut it out.
3D
Nice.
printed, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, except it'll just be etched in with a laser. It'll
Yeah.
be super precise. Perfect.
Awesome. Cool.
So,
well, that's good.
So Beyonce's outfit changed while you all were doing the seance thing.
Oh.
It's like a regular modern outfit now.
De-dressed her? Weird.
No, it just seemed to just randomly happen.
Okay.
And
yeah. So
and
John's
it's
gonna do some
a
research,
nighttime
I think.
outside.
Jesus, we spent a long time talking today.
Yeah, Don immediately checks his watch to see what the time is.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Like 7 o'clock or something.
Like 11.
Jesus, okay. Oh, fuck.
But you don't remember that much time passing.
Yeah.
It just
So we're
seemed
not-
that this happened
so
really
we're-
quickly.
We're not like tired or anything, like we
No.
should be here.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, we only ate breakfast an hour ago.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'd like to start on the education roll for doing some research, if that's okay.
Yes.
That's a 35. Can I add my horror fan to it as well?
Yes, you can.
39.
Okay, what exactly are you researching?
So I'd like to look into basically from the fevered scramblings of John's future mind, where he was talking about the thing that's coming, and then adding together the very few scraps of information D could give, what could be trying to utilize this eclipse coming up in 3 days? Like, what kind of rituals would be being performed? What powers are those towards? Like, not everything will be useful on an eclipse, you know, like it'll only be certain things.
Right. It is someone trying to bring Madison to where they are.
Okay. So, like, anchor it somewhere, basically?
Yeah, they're trying to anchor it somewhere and take power. Because
Okay.
that's what they always try to do.
Yeah.
Somebody roll me a sight check. Go ahead, you can finish, John.
Sight.
Well, I
15.
know you were talking. You were in the middle of talking, so that's why I said
Yeah. So essentially, it's a pretty typical ritual. Is there any hint in the ritual as to where it is going to be anchored, or who is anchoring it, or?
that is really, really hard. Even with that extremely good roll, that is really, really hard to tell because it doesn't seem like a single place.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of places, all at once.
Okay.
And somebody else roll sight, please.
Sight hates me. 10.
Oh my gosh.
Don isn't aware, but his prescription has recently changed.
Eve, do you want to try?
I can give it the good old college try. Let's see. Sight. Even worse.
Oh my goodness. What was the highest one? 15?
15.
Oh my gosh. So since all of these sight rolls were so terrible, we're just gonna I wanted do my normal weird thing to wrap it up. It's just not going to be as weird because apparently
15
none of y'all.
isn't bad for John. He's only got a +2.
Well, apparently none of y'all can see what's going on. But there is John. You can see. So there's a window in your room, so you can see somebody in blue just like sneaking their way up to the building. And
John will do his usual hurried patting everyone on the shoulder and be like, "There's a person outside being very suspicious."
And Dawn and I can't remember her names right now.
Eve.
Oh my, Eve. Dawn and Eve. You can see on the walls is like blood dripping down it, but then when you look again, it's not. Just every once in a while, it happens.
Oh, lovely.
And you also see blood on Beyonce's forehead, like a line, like somebody cut her forehead.
Does that go away
that.
too, or is it just
No.
there?
That stays.
Does Beyonce seem aware of it?
No, they're just sitting there.
Well then. Don kind of gestures at Beyonce. Do you there seems to be did you did you injure yourself?
Beyonce will just put their hand to their forehead and see the blood dripping and scream, and then we're going to end.
Damn. No. Just as a small note, there are no mirrors in John's room.
I wonder why.
I was gonna say that's shocking.
You've seen him in daylight, it's fine.
That's
He's
the
not a
end
vampire.
of the episode. Should we do our outros? And let me know what your favorite part was.
Should we go reverse order to start with?
Yes, reverse order. So V.
Favorite part. The whole session was my favorite part. I guess technically it's my first streamed session, so nothing went anything like I expected it to. So now going forward, I expect now to not expect anything. It was lovely, and I am really, really excited to see how the characters continue to kind of fit together, especially with Eve now giving some new insight into things. But I just think John is hilarious every time he looks at Eve like, "Hey, authority person."
Is legal? Are these brownies legal?
Adult.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
teacher.
how good an idea? Excuse me, a raised hand. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see where everything goes, and I'm having a lot of fun so far, so I'm excited. But yeah, that's me.
Okay. I believe Rand, you're next.
I am next. Some of my favorite parts were fucking Eve just staring at John while he floundered for like a solid 4 minutes trying to say hello was amazing. I also really liked just Eve and Don having casual grown-up conversations on the playground while John is trying to entertain a 7-year-old. Great stuff. And just the sheer horror of Dee being like, "Oh yeah, I torture her, and then other times I make her play games with me," was just the level of like lack of comprehension for why that is horrifying was very good. I really enjoyed that as a moment. As always, I feel bad for Don because like he would be so much more comfortable in literally any other situation. I feel like he would be thriving in any other genre. Poor Don. Yeah, great session around. Everyone had some good moments, I think.
And Emily, that's your turn.
I'm going to parrot what Ran and V said as far as favorite things. I also absolutely love that we freaking ran into Sam and Dean, and that playing Dust in the Wind actually works. To confirm, yeah, that's actually them. Also, just the whole realization around our little group about, oh yeah, that was a real thing. This is all going to go even more terrible. Just again, it keeps happening. The escalation of creepy and horrifying. Dawn, Ren, you are right. Dawn would be having a grand old time in about any other situation.
Right?
I'm delighted. Dawn is horrified.
Like, I would love to see Don in like an isekai, like a high fantasy isekai, where he just lands in like fucking D&D land and is like, all right, well, let's make the best of it.
Oh, you should see where I'm playing him elsewhere. He's having a blast. I am delighted, but yeah, Dawn is horrified. I also like the completely, the very different reactions to Eve. Like Beyonce just being like, fuck that noise. John being like, thank God, an authority figure. And Dawn having this mix of, yeah, she seems nice, but this is sus as hell.
She
like
seems
just-
nice, but she is a cop, so how nice can she be?
It's not the cop thing. It's the, oh, wait a minute. How did she know my last name? I didn't tell her my last name. Oh, wait a minute. She sounds like the people I talked to before that probably have files on me. I'm gonna disappear to a black site, never to be seen again.
You know, the concept of she's a cop, how nice can she really be? That's not the first time that's been applied to Eve.
Yeah, that's more of a Ben thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. John is the opposite of my own reaction to any kind of authority figure. I was like, this man craves direction.
Okay, I forgot to ask y'all where you're going to be next. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am at Timberdoodles on Twitter. I'm a digital artist. I complain a lot. You can also find me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time here on the Black Feather Guild Twitch channel for Champions of the Fae. It's a D&D game. I play a tiefling swashbuckler rogue who is actually a rather nice person, but don't let that get around. And we just we were supposed to get in a big fight with an angry dragon, but rolled 2 natural 20s in a row and convinced it to let us banish it back to its home realm because this campaign is bonkers. It's a great time. So yeah, that's where I'll be next, and then I'll be back here again next Friday, where I'm sure everything will be jolly and fine. I will be delighted.
So I'm Ran. I'm on Twitter at RanPlaysGames, where at the moment I mostly post comments from my AO3 out of context or pictures of maps. My other stream game is on a temporary hiatus, so the next time you can see me will be here next week. That's everything.
Okay, V, where will we see you next?
Oh, you can check me out on my art Twitter. I have one of those, which is at Pepperodraws, and that's pepper like the candy. And then I will be here tomorrow for Animus Absentis. So check that out.
Ooh.
That sounds awesome. I loved having my child freak all of you out. I just loved the reactions to that. And again, the whole session was great. I just love throwing curveballs at you all and giving you what you're not expecting and scaring you. And I am next on TPK Roleplay on Sunday for 2 different games, I believe. Or one. I'm on places. Just check my Twitter. I'll try to remember to update you. And I will definitely see you all next week. And we'll find out what happens next in this lovely town.